Hello everyone, and welcome to Nothing But Mist. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Liz, and I will be your DM tonight. This game, Nothing But Mist, is inspired by Curse of Strahd, which is one of my favourite official D&D campaigns. It's the first one that I ever DM'd when I was first starting out DMing, and it is absolutely my favourite. It is set within the cursed lands of Barovia. Let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hi, my name is Talia, she, her, and I will be playing Memory, also she, her. The sweet, enthusiastic, kind of tiefling, kind of druid, who has found herself in the lands of Barovia on her own quest to go and put to rest her family and to cure her home of the curse that is slowly, inexorably turning her into a tree. It's painful. She's happy about it. For everybody else.
Hi, I'm Evie. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Jaunty, who uses they, them pronouns. Jaunty begins our tale as a reluctant reborn, bard of spirits and warlock of the undying. They are jaded, they are grumpy, they are mad that they've been brought back to life 79 times, and they want to be out of Barovia already. Let's see how the campaign may help or hinder this.
Hello, I am Nathan Lurs. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing Alfred Alfie Abbey Abington, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is a regal and royal paladin sorcerer who entered into Barovia very sure of his quality and the power of his vengeance, but has become increasingly exhausted and tired, and now he's trying to do things differently.
Hi everyone, my name is Astrid. She, her pronouns. I'm playing with Sora, who is a very young far traveler dragonborn. Her specialty is fire. Bless her, she's very naive. She ended up in the land of Barovia, but she's still convinced that she is in Fairyland. It's just that every recommendation she had about Fairyland is probably not very accurate. Although there's been some candy and some piñatas along the way, which she has liked, along with some fairy creatures. So that part was fun.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack math rocks for use in your favourite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made from sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check out their entire selection, including some limited roll together dice. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER, all caps, at checkout, you'll get 25% off your next purchase.
Big love to our D20 club on Patreon. They're great. You're wonderful. We love you so much. And they help us keep the kobolds in line, which is very important. They get up to all sorts of cheeky jam-related activities. Anyway, the D20 club, they've created a fan Discord where you can come and chat about all things Roll Together. And they've created a wiki page to help you keep track of all of our stories, which you can find at rolltogether.fandom.com. You can join and be as cool as they are from as little as one of your local currencies per month by following the link in chat or in the description below.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation, then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
We are happy to be supported by Homie and the Dude. Homie and the Dude are a father and son duo, a group company that make various different TTRPG supplement books, which includes The Wandering Tavern, and coming soon to Kickstarter, they have a new Dune/Mad Max inspired book called Scorched Basin. You can go check out all of their stuff following the links in chat or in the description below. And if you use the code ROLLTOGETHER at checkout, you can get 10% off of your purchase.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok by searching Roll Together RPG, or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and want to see our previous adventures, you can catch up straight after on YouTube or on your favourite podcasting app by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections, and we have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out !safety in chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
And now, let's begin. What happened last time? We began with you all at level 10, making your way to your encounter with the devil, Strahd, in his castle atop the highest spire. There were undead, a lot of them. There was Strahd as well. Sora, there was no candy, sadly, much to your disappointment. But you did all hear a heartbeat echoing through the combat that you were in, getting louder and louder as the combat went on. Strahd seemed to expect you. He was confident of his chances, and as you were battling him as well, it was quite epic actually. I quite enjoyed that you were interacting with him. The fog around you that kind of brought the undead crawling up the castle seemed to endlessly creep towards you. Too long lingering in this sentient mist rendered you all ensconced. I love that word, ensconced. You kind of were unconscious, only to awaken again a few miles away on the old Svarlich road. And as you awoke, you realised that your skills had gone. It was more like you had forgotten them, like they were dormant. And we, the audience, looking through the camera, saw the crystalline, ginormous, beating heart consuming the memories that left you. We picked up a few weeks later with your level 1 selves. You had got jobs, very exciting, and it turned out that you were about to have a very weird day. Sora, our dragonborn barbarian, was with a very snooty woman called Lady Vocta. She had a lot of cats. One of these little cats brought Sora a little key with a pouch on a keyring. Alfie was chilling out with Henrik, the coffin maker. The conversation was minimal. Turned out Henrik was up to something. He had coffins created leaning upright on the workshop walls. Alfie saw him stash a bag of bones in one of the coffins and promptly decided to steal them, obviously, and jump out the window. Yay. Next, Memory was tending the grounds to the Church of St. Andrew. It needed a lot of tending. Memory saw a cherry tree. The branches in full bloom. It was beautiful. But then it wasn't. This impossible rot began to kind of crawl up the branches, ripping bark away. Memory was left with a message written in Druidic. It said, "If you can end the lives of 3, you will regain memory. Maiden Mother and the crone once fed you pastry of flesh and bone. Seek them in their churning mill, but be wary, they know you still. Be prepared, keep your wits to lift the blight on your spirits." Memory then heard raised voices of Father Lucian Petrovich and the serving guy Milivoj. It turned out that the bones of St. Angel, the things that kept the church hallowed and safe, had been stolen. Who knew? So we moved over to Jaunty. They were in the town centre, jamming on their lyre. It was a lyre, right, Evie? Good. I'm not lying. Good. Very somber melodies were emitting from you. The voices of the people in the stocks behind you aiding as backing vocals. The people of Vallaki loved it. Jaunty ended up with some good coin from their day's play. Then Mad Mary rocked up. Mad Mary, a lady who Jaunty kind of knew but couldn't remember why. She asked Jaunty to return her Gertruda to her, and placed, obviously, a very creepy doll in Jaunty's hands. Looking at the doll, it had a label someone had written on it. Turned out that was Jaunty. It was their handwriting. There was also a picture of an anatomical heart. Pulling on the tempting string, Jaunty heard a heartbeat from inside the doll. They revealed in the stuffing not a heart, but instead a tiny scroll tube, and inside this scroll tube, Jaunty saw a message that they had written to themselves, but didn't remember writing. It read, "Return what was stolen, and remember, be careful, there's been more than you think." You all met up, went to the tavern. There was terrible wine, psychedelic tea also. You all did a show and tell with all of your day and objects, and admired the gemstone in the pouch that Sora had. You decided to return the bones of St. Andrel to the church. You did so, but once you pulled at the flagstone, the more perceptive amongst you saw the hidden compartment beneath. Using Sora's key, you opened it to find weapons and items which you remembered having a long, long time ago. So, your memories have been triggered. You all advanced from level 1 to level 3 in this awakening. In that moment, you attuned to your magical items, and time did kind of pass as you were doing so. You realized what the time was as the church bells struck midnight. And that's when the screams began. Many vampiric thralls poured out of Henrik's coffin shop. Villagers began streaming into this now hallowed church, and that's kind of where we ended last time. Does everyone remember that all happening? Yay, good, okay. So we're going to pick up there. Along with various townsfolk that have all come pouring in through the door, you see Father Lucian and Milivoj kind of enter hurriedly in. They seemingly look prepared with holy water. There are wooden stakes on their rope belts, and they usher everyone through just in the nick of time. The barmaid Danica is there with her 2 boys, Brom and Bray. There's also the toy maker of the town, Blinsky. Looking through the windows, either side of the church and straight by the door as well, the thralls seem to have made a certain beeline for this place. They are kind of trying to pick off any villagers, but kind of failing as they come into the church. They prowl around this exterior, seeking another way through, but you notice that they are seemingly repelled and held at bay by a large holy dome which covers this church. Well done for replacing the bones of St. Andrel. Great, and that's kind of where we're going to pick up. So yeah, to give you an idea of layout, there are doors immediately before you, the ones that you came in through. They are open so you can see outside, and you can see that these vampire thralls are waiting. They look confused. There is also another exit to the right of the altar if you were looking at it. That would take you to the graveyard where Memory was before. You look like you've got a bit of time. Is there anything that you'd like to do in preparation for what is about to occur?
Yeah, I'll do something if it's an action. Just if that's okay.
You can do it as whatever you like. We're not in initiative just yet, so please do whatever you would like.
Okay. Abby, remember that you're a hero, right? You're a hero to me. Right? Feel good? Feel good about the fight?
Right now? Yeah, I get we're back in it, I guess.
Okay, good. You're about to feel a bit better about it because you're on the front lines, buddy. I take a card from my new Tarokka deck, which for the audience is Luba's Tarokka of Souls. And I use the Twists of Fate action. And you now have advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws for the next hour. But I need to roll a d100.
Go for it.
Just in case something nasty happens.
That's a butt that feels like there's a lot riding on it, you know. But
it's
we'll
big
see.
butt.
It's okay. I got a 72, so nothing else happens.
Beautiful. So you're drawing this card. Do you just place it on the ground? Do you keep it in your hand? Like, what's the? What's the visual?
I think I'm gonna take a card and I'm gonna just tuck it into the top of Alfred's armor, kind of like I'm at a drag show and just kind of, or a stripper show, and just. Whoop.
I think stripper show feels appropriate for this moment.
Yeah.
Well, especially because Abby is not wearing any armor at the moment anyway, so it's just kind of you just stick it and it's just in like one of his
bra.
Yeah, and it is like one of his lapels, which including his sports bra.
Lovely. That's great. Yes, you certainly feel much, I guess, luckier after that. That's kind of cool. Anything else anybody else would like to do?
Abby will turn to everyone and will just kind of check to see how everyone's feeling. I mean, this is the first I assume this is the first combat we've been in since we were literally fighting Strahd.
100%.
However long ago that was now. And, just will kind of turn. And again, he is holding his kind of new old ball and chain mace with all of the censer smoke starting to emerge from it, and is just going to look around and say, we can do this. We can do this. Just like old times, right? Yes, we can do this. We must do this. We will do it. And then he says something in a magical language and casts bless on some amount of people.
Let us know how many people, but also let us know, what does it smell like?
So everyone but Abby, in that now Abby already has the protection of a lovely Taraka card, so doesn't need it. So he just kind of like starts, the way he is casting now is that he just kind of starts swinging his ball and chain back and forth a little bit, and it is not a scent that he picked out in that it is a hand-me-down, but there is just kind of a nice, like, almost comforting spiciness to it, a little bit of like, not baked goods, but kind of like cinnamony sharpness, I guess, that just kind of starts spreading around and really kind of hits right in the back of your nose. And he kind of just starts swaying it back and forth and walking towards the door, and you guys all just get this kind of refreshing breath of incense and are filled with this kind of holy magic, and get your additional D4 to all attack rolls and saving throws.
You are all considered blessed. Memory.
Oh, yes. Astrid, can you remind me what Sora's AC is?
Armor class 13.
13. Okay, so I'm going to just take you by the hands. So remember us, we used to do. And as I do, like, the bark kind of shifting on my skin comes and starts to envelop you. And I'm giving you bark skin and an armor class of 16.
Ooh,
oh, that's
nice.
so sweet. Thank you.
Be safe out there.
Nice. Sora, how do you think the bark interacts with your dragon scales? Like, does it feel nice to you? Like, is it a nice feeling? Like, how do your scales turn to this bark?
It's nice and it's shiny.
Nice.
Like shiny.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. Is Sora doing anything in particular to get ready? Any mantra? Any?
It's just a couple of rubs to the cat, to Wasabi and Wusta and Mustard.
Mustard, wasabi, Worcester. I love this. Wasabi is green. We don't know how that happened, but wasabi is 100% green.
A lot of fungus on that cat, unfortunately, but we still care about it.
Sora still cares about it.
Mm-hmm.
Move away so I'm not standing right next to Wasabi.
Amazing. So as the treats kind of tumble to the ground with these three cats that are oblivious about what is happening outside, they don't care about thralls. That's not why they're here. They are here for the treats. Father Lucian appears to be a different man to how we saw him before, and I think memory needs to take credit for this. He is emboldening and fortifying the people that have come in. He seems inspired with a new outlook on life and is giving this wholehearted motivational speech to the people inside. My friends, my congregation of souls, remember your hope. For hope is what brought you here, and the morning Lord himself has blessed us this terrible night. Let us not forget the sanctity of this house of Lathander, and be ever protected in his light. We are his flock and are preserved by his will. Who's got the highest passive perception out of all you guys?
Passive perception. I have 13.
Okay.
14?
As a reminder, 9, -1.
I'm still going to ask, Nathan, every time.
I know, and I will dramatically respond 9 every time. And as long as you're all cool with doing that dance, then I'm very cool with it.
Amazing. And Jaunty, what was yours?
12.
Okay. I'll say everyone apart from Mr. Nine over there will pick up the fact that after Father Lucian says this at the morning orders, protecting all of them, he's going to give you a little cheeky wink. Like, I see what you did. Thank you so much. And he begins blessing any water that he can find. There's water in the water in the font behind the altar. Any water skins that might be on yourselves, he will bless. It's now considered holy water if you have water skins. Danica has also brought in some tea. She's grown quite fond of this since last you saw her. But the tea as well is now psychedelic and blessed, just so you know. So if anyone wants some more of that tea, it's up for grabs.
In that order. It is mostly psychedelic and a little bit blessed.
And it stacks, yes.
Yes, please.
I will say that I warmed the tea as well. It does have the nice flame to make it
great.
I have a question for Sora, actually. Are your flames magic?
Unless it's a spell, they won't be.
No, I think it's just flame.
Okay, so one of the negative effects of being attuned to my Tarokka deck is that any non-magical flames within 30 feet of me are extinguished.
Oh, you see,
So I
someone
have to stay away from you.
Just like forever, like permanently, like you just walk into a room and all flames go out at all time and you're like, man, I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to be cold tonight.
Also, I can't
fire.
touch memory anymore because if I touch any plant matter, it has necrotic damage.
Oh.
I think I have one patch of normal human skin. You can touch my face.
I'll get one of those like back scratches to kind of pat you with.
Nice. Make an investigation check. Let's see if you can find one. Sorry, you try and blow out some flame and you just kind of blow out just a bit of smoke and you're like, what is wrong with me? You turn your head to talk to Alfie and then that's when the flame starts again as you've turned away from Jaunty. Jaunty, what was your roll?
13.
Oh, you fully find one. Like there's a pew and some lovely congregation member always keeps it there. That's their scratcher, but you're welcome to take that if you wish.
I take that. I go over to memory and say, I cannot hug you anymore. Such is life. I will pat you with this. Please be content with it. Pat, pat.
I take it in the spirit as intended. I just vaguely wave some tendrils back at her. No,
Well, and this is
complete.
This is all our old stuff, right? Like this is all stuff that we had already. So like there was a brief like 3-week respite in the Jaunty can give hugs again, you know, kind of bit. And unfortunately, we have re-entered the era of like, sorry, no physical contact, or at least not while attuned.
Yes. So with armed with butt scratches, and with tea, and with holy water, and your new fancy items, let's talk about the people outside, because yes, there are 6 vampire thralls in total. They are stood about 50 foot away from the church in a curved line, facing the church's double doors. Left to right, you would see the first, a gaunt, emaciated elven figure with sunken eyes and pallid skin. He looks like he's got tattered robes on. Looks like maybe a life of poverty even before this transformation. The second one in maybe was once a beautiful noblewoman once upon a time, but her elegant dress is now stained with blood and dirt. Her hair would have been on point but is now disheveled, wild. It's got twigs in it. She looks very hungry. The third has the makings of a young soldier, still wearing the remnants of uniform, but you can't make out any sigil on his outfit. What probably was once a muscular build is now lean and feral. His eyes seem to follow you wherever you go. The fourth looks like a scholar. His tattered robes are really stained at the bottom and messy. He's got a pair of glasses on, but one of the what's it called? Not frames. One of the glasses. What are they called?
Lenses?
Lenses. Thank you. One of the lenses is gone. The fifth looks like a former blacksmith, judging by the massive frame and stained remnants of his apron. And the sixth looks like he was maybe a hunter once. He's wearing the standard kind of huntsman's garb, but Sora, can you make a perception check for me, please? There's one item on his person that looks a little different.
Perception check. 1 second. Perception. 15.
Great. There is a single piece of candy stuck to his tattered jacket. Like, it's on the lapel, and it's a little tiny candy cane. Just stuck on
Fairy
his jacket.
candy at last.
So yeah, we've got Tatty Elf, Disheveled Noblewoman, Young Soldier, Crazy Scholar Guy, Blacksmith, and the Huntsman with the candy cane. If we are ready, could we all please roll initiative?
Ooh.
Nat 20 for a 23.
Nice.
All right, go ahead.
10.
10 for Sora.
I am
Amazing.
once again not trusting Roll20 after it betrayed me so many times last session. 17 on the die for a 19 total. Yes.
Nice. A memory.
22.
22. I wasn't sure whether we were going with 4 or just 2. I was like, which one is it? 22. Amazing. Right, first up with the natty 20, we're going to head on over to Jaunty. I'm going to say there's 5 foot between you and the precipice of the door, then the further 50 foot to you and any of the 6 thralls before you.
Okay. How many can I fit in a 15-foot cone?
Roll a d4.
4.
4.
Cool. I can fit 4. I now have access to spray of cards again.
Amazing. Yay.
Cool. Can they all please make a dex save for me?
Absolutely. So, the ones that you're going to go for are left to right, Tatty Elf, Disheveled Noblewoman, Young Soldier, and Crazy Scholar Guy.
Cool. Always hit the crazy scholar.
Tatty Elf got 19.
Passes?
Disheveled Noblewoman, feeling frisky, but only got a 6.
Haha, failed.
12 for the Soldier,
Failed?
and 8 for Scholar Guy. So, Tatty Elf succeeds, the other fail.
Okay, so Tatty Elf takes half damage, the rest full damage, and the damage is 2d10
Amazing.
of... Why is it a symbol of damage? Force damage. Okay, cool.
Oh, nice. Force damage is the best damage.
It is best damage.
Yeah, like nothing is resistant to force damage.
No. Blueberry's better though. Nothing's resistant to blueberry. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of force damage on those guys, please.
So that would be... Oh, hello. That's 7 for Tatty Elf. And then the full whack for the others. Do you want to tell us what that looks like?
Yeah, it's quite similar to before, but I take the Tarot deck and kind of splay it in my hand, kind of pick one, put it down in defense position
Nice.
as the cards come up Yu-Gi-Oh style, probably in the windows, the stained glass windows, before I push them out with my hands, and they're kind of spirit-esque with like smoke. I'm not describing it very well, but just kind of wax into them like a wall of spirit card. I'm not the best describer today.
No, I love it. I love it. The cards kind of flap as if slapped on the window, but then seem to melt into the colour to then reappear on the other side and blast out towards the 4. Tatty Elf, maybe it's just how dishevelled they're feeling right now, but like they're able just to kind of dodge out the way just in time. The others are not expecting it, so take the full brunt of that hit. Anything else you'd like to do on your go, Jaunty?
I am going to give Bardic Inspiration to Memory.
Can you tell us what type of D is it?
What type of D?
Yeah, what number dice is it?
It's
The
a
inspiration?
6.
D6. Thank you. Are you staying within the church? It's not a trick. I'm just asking you. Are you staying where you are?
Yeah, I think so. I've learned my lesson to not be on the front lines. Let someone else be my meat shield. Then when there's like a barrier, maybe I'll go out.
Nice. Memory, over to you.
Fantastic. So Father Lucian's basically running around blessing water into holy water,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would like to draw his attention to me.
How are you going to do that?
Tendrils just go up in the air and just start waving. Go, hi, Father Lucian.
He's currently blessing a very old woman. So, Sister Petrova, it's so nice to see you, and I know you have many questions. I'm sorry. Sister Petrol, give me 1 sec. Yes, my dear.
If I make some water, can you bless it for me to make it holy?
I can bless any water you throw at me, for the Morning Lord is with us always.
Fantastic. I don't want to throw it at you, I want to throw it at them.
You can throw the water wherever you please.
Fantastic. I would like to create water as a rain shower over the vampire thralls' heads. And
Nice.
hopefully then it gets blessed into holy water. And
Amazing. This is going to be 2 people doing a thing in combat. That's fine. Can you just tell me what the area of the create water is? Is it 5 foot by 5 foot? Is it 10 foot by 10
30
foot?
cube.
Cute. Love that. So that would get everybody in it. Yes. So how is this going to work? Am I going to ask Father Lucian to roll something? Because this is not a standard blessing. Let's say. Let's see how much the Morning Lord is with him right now. Religion check. 14. He's feeling it. Okay. Are you okay for Father Lucian to touch your hands? Are you okay for me to touch your hands? Because I will need to do this in order to do the blessing, and it's not something I normally ask to do, but Is it okay, my dear?
I guess so.
Okay.
It doesn't happen that often anymore, so maybe. But for now, yes.
Right, okay. Well, if you want me to stop you, just say stop.
Okay.
Now, have you ever done that thing where you put your hands like this, someone else puts their hands over yours, and you push out, and they push in, and you end up feeling like you've got an orb in your hands? He's kind of doing that to you right now. Except the orb that you're feeling is this holy energy as he casts Bless at the same time. The water does spray out and then covers in this 30-foot cube all of these vampire thralls and begins pitter-patting down.
I don't want to use my druid magic for this. I want to use my warlock pact magic with this. Okay. So drawing from the goodness of the earth, combining with this Morning Lord's bless, and that's what's because I have taken a level of warlock back.
Amazing. What sensation do you think you would get as that happens?
I think it's like the feeling of warmth and clean rain after it's been a harsh, arid period of dryness, and your plants are dying, and this rain is kind of fixing its problems.
Yeah, nice. Certainly happens. So I believe that took an action. Do you wish to do anything as a bonus action?
Don't have any that I can use, so I'm just going to... Thank you!
Amazing.
You can touch me now.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. No, it is done. Thank you. Liz has a question. How long is the duration of control water?
I think it's just...
First serve.
Yeah, I think it's just instant. So you do it one action, one and done. But I'm hoping that it's now the holy water rains making them a little weaker for our front lines to have a slightly easier job.
100%. So they will take the damage from the holy water, which I will work out in a second. The reason why I ask is vampires are also harmed by running water. They tend to take acid damage when they end their turn in it. That's the only reason why I'm going to ask. Each of these vampires will take 2d6 radiant damage. Memory, would you mind rolling that 2d6 for me? Let us know how much damage they are going to take as part of that turn. Because it is only a one and done, it won't keep on going like running water would, but we'll see what damage they take.
8 points of radiant damage.
Amazing. I will apply that to all 6. You see the water begin to wick in their clothing. And for a second you're like, did that work? But then you start to see that horrid smoke start rising from beneath the clothes, as they are clearly taking radiant damage from this. Does that end your turn, Memory?
It does.
Amazing. Are you staying where you are?
Yes, within the safety of the...
At the end of your turn, we're going to move on over to the young soldier, who you assume at some point in his existence, as not an undead, had some kind of tactically minded. He is going to look to what you assume is the moon, because you can't see it from where you are. And he kind of emits this horrid kind of creaking scream, as if he's calling something. That ends his go. Abby, over to you.
First, would you say that cell phone reception is good or bad here? Like, do we think that this call is going to go through, or...
Make a memory check. That's going to be history plus your class modifier.
Yeah, but mostly I am just like, what is this? What's happening?
Let's see if
Nathan have an
this
idea.
before.
Natural 20.
You don't remember seeing this. You think you remember seeing this, but you can't remember why. They are calling Strahd. Reception's great. That is what they're doing right now this second. You know, in a second, they're all going to start doing it, raising their heads to the sky and howling until he arrives, which will be soon.
Okay. Does Alfie feel like there's a way, like once the first howl has gone up, is it like too late kind of deal? And like, it doesn't matter what we do? Or is it like, as long as they don't just keep howling, then we maybe have a chance?
You know that this place is protected.
Right.
You have a better chance in here right now.
All right. Well, for now, Alfie is kind of like muttering under his breath. He realizes what's happening, and kind of like the last thing that he does, turning towards everyone who's still kind of in the cathedral, just kind of says like, "They're calling to him. We should wrap this up." And he turns and lets the kind of like ball and chain kind of like fall to its full slack, and the incense kind of building up around him, and he's just muttering under his breath over and over. It's like, all right, we're back at it. This is fine. We did it once. We can do it again. It's all right. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It will be fine. And he is going to stand in the doorway. Like, it's going to he has no armor on. He has no protection. He doesn't even have a shield. He has nothing but this, kind of like this morning star thing. And is there anything that is close enough to him that he can either like reach out and bap it, or, kind of otherwise like encourage them to come at him, bro and broesses and bro thems?
Make either intimidation or persuasion check. Let's see based on that what's going to happen.
Okay. I have a +5 in both. So we are going to say, I think he is. Oh yes. Were you going to say something?
Yes, you've got the advantage on basically everything you do for the next hour.
I was going to clarify. It sounded like the answer was everything, but good to know. He's going to do, I think he is not feeling super intimidating at the moment, in that he was a much higher level character, not but a few weeks ago. So he's going to say, please, you don't need to call him over, right? We can just handle this now. You can kill us in this moment, no problem.
Let's see what
that's
the
a
roll is.
22.
So they are a bit further back than the circumference of the dome. Just for flavor, just for fun, I'm going to say they're going to move 30 foot forwards. They are compelled by you in that moment to kind of lurch forward. You would then have enough movement if you wanted to get to, I'm going to say, Huntsman Candy Cane on the far right-hand side.
Yeah, you know what? I think for now, Alfie's gonna just throw, just get the rust off. See how truly far he has fallen, and is actually going to step out. Why not? Is going to step out.
So.
He has the blessing of a sweet card. Let's give it a shot. Why not? So he is going to start swinging his sensor and just go out and just try to kind of like uppercut nice. the closest one to him. That is another natural 20 with advantage. Never rolling D&D Beyond ever again. Sorry, D&D Beyond. We appreciate you and your services, but my dice are hot at the moment. Okay. That changes things. So he's gonna do it. I am
smitey?
That was the question. Am I going to smite and just try to delete this thing? I had some plans for my spell slots, but I am a paladin, and so therefore I am compelled. I'm compelled to do it on a crit. So he is going to swing it, and is again just like, all right, we've got this. This will be fine. This will be fine. This will be fine. And just swings it and absolutely uppercuts, like catches this creature just right under the jaw, and he's almost surprised at how clean of a hit it is. And kind of as he's connecting, his eyes go from worried concentration, I'm probably going to die, to, oh wait, yes, and says a very quick prayer under his breath, and then right at the moment of connection, there's just explosion of light, as he's also going to use a spell slot to turn that into a smite. Now, I think that means I roll...
You double your dice.
Yeah, well, and because I have this fancy new magic item that is my weapon, that also does an extra D8 of damage.
Mm-hmm. So any dice you'd roll, you double.
I'm rolling 8d8, I believe. And now that one I might need some generation help. No offense. Sorry I said all those terrible things about you, D&D Beyond.
We initially hated you, but now we really like you. I'm kidding. D&D Beyond, you're great. Do your rolls. Okay.
So this big connection, 8d8 plus 3, 33 points of damage, and I think all but, and a large hunk of that is radiant damage. I can pull that out if useful.
Marvelous. No, that's great. Yes, so you clock the huntsman under the chin. Let's go ahead and say that this huntsman has been undead for a good long while, and things are not quite as held together as they should be. His jaw gets very dislocated in the process, but he smells this lovely cinnamon kind of sharp scent in the process. He is still standing, but barely. Okay.
Alfie looks over his shoulder and makes eye contact with Jaunty and is like, I always liked these cards. And then turns back to confronting these creatures.
Amazing. The rest of you watch as Abby kind of steps forwards. Would it be fair to say, Nathan, that there's a new confidence now?
Yes, I think so. I think it has gone from no confidence or very little, like kind of false confidence, to maybe too much confidence in about one swing. So,
but you see this paladin armed with something that he's not had before, especially not the last time you experienced Strahd. There's a difference now. You feel, all of you, a little more lucky than you were before. Does that end your turn, Abby?
I believe it does, especially just because I used that action to try and get their attack. So that is the end of my turn.
At the end of your turn, the other vampires do begin to start screaming, and as they do, there's like a rip in the mist above Abby's head. And shooting down from the clouds, you see Strahd. Now, he wants it to look cool. I need to see how cool Strahd's going to look. Okay, I rolled a 6. It's not that great because his capes... You know when Edna Mode is like, no capes. This is why. So the cape's kind of billowing up around his head, and he kind of lands with it over here. But he tries to style it out by throwing his head back. The cape kind of begins to billow. He smiles, and with one sharp clawed finger, looks like he's going to try and like slice your cheek off it, but instead reaches out to this dome. He's going to slice down it and look across to Tatty Elf, who was screaming. you'll know what to do. He's able to just open up this dome to allow one in on his turn. That ends his turn. Actually, no. He's you know this of Strahd. He tends to toy with people. He likes to watch the suffering from afar because he's a dick. So he is going to turn into mist and leave with a bonus action. Is he going to come back? We don't know.
Is giving the finger to the mist a free action?
Yeah.
Okay, I do that.
Do you want to make a performance check? See how like impacted in his soul.
Can we all?
Yes.
I would like to describe this as we're giving aid to Jaunty, in that we are
we have
all
a group finger flip
Everyone's
check?
just like,
Oh, I get a
look.
D4 plus to it as well.
Yeah, Strahd, you know what? I know we're down and out. You know, we're low, but like we've put up with your shit for 10 levels now, and like just because we're level 3 doesn't mean we're any. Like we saw the cape. It's too late. We saw the cape.
Do you know what I mean?
Fucking incel nerd. Like it's too late. We know.
I got a 26 on the finger check.
Oh, amazing. Now, just before he transformed into that mist, like, Jaunty, you full on. And you see, just in his eyes, in fact, Memory, what is your insight? Your passive insight?
16.
Oh, yeah. You 100% see there's a little self-doubt just turning in the, like, you get the impression that he wants you to think that he's cool. And he's really failing at this. And he's a type of dick that can't understand that he is the problem. But that's a story for another day.
Honey, no.
I'm fine.
What if we just infantilize him?
I mean, he's just really a boring person trying much too hard.
No, and he kind of turns to mist and zips away.
That's not as cool as you think it is.
Strahd just said no you and then left.
What's next,
Classic.
your mum?
Oh, you don't want her to show up. Okay, cool. Abby, that ends your turn. That ends Strahd, the douche's turn. Then we move on over to Tatty Elf, who is going to begin to rush on in. Abby's on the other side. He's going to rush towards the door. He's going to use his full movement as an action to dash. So he's going to move 60 foot, so he is inside the church doors. He's very close to Sora, very close to Memory, very close to Jaunty. The villagers inside do begin screaming, but Father Lucian's like, no, you will be fine. You are protected by the Morning Lord and these guys who are very cool, by the way. That ends that vampire's go. The rest are going to try and get through that kind of zipper that Strahd's open, but it does begin closing as they come near. So the huntsman, it's his go. Alfie, you're right by him. So he will begin to attack you. He's going to make 2 attacks. The first is claw. Let's see if he can claw you, because he's going to try and grapple you to then bite you. Does a 15 hit?
Well, it would if I luckily didn't have the shield spell. So falling into my trap like a foolish, like I knew they would with all of their vampiric hubris. Abby just kind of looks at this creature who, like, empowered, is like, Strahd is here. The tables have turned. Our master is here. And Abby just like looks at this creature and again just utters another word of power, and his like claws are like stopped against a magical barrier. As Alfie just like looks and smirks and just shakes his head. Nope, I don't think so.
Amazing. That's his first attack as it kind of bounces off the magical shield that you bring up. He will try, instead of biting, because he can't do that, he will try and claw you again with his second attack. Let's see if this will beat your shield. I've got an 18.
Right. Sorry. Yes, that will.
Oh, that will beat the shield. Okay.
Indeed.
Instead of dealing damage, this vampire can choose to grapple you, and I think he will do that. He kind
totally
of
makes sense.
Grasps you
Or I
In a
could
warm
silvery
embrace.
barbs it.
Yes, do it.
Silver
it.
barbs. Silver barbs.
Who are you going to give your advantage to?
Sora.
Sora, you get advantage on your next attack. Or saving throw, I believe. Anyway, he will have to roll again. I got 14. 14 hit?
Me?
Alfie.
Not with my shield.
Nice. So yeah, this thing is trying to grab you and it should be really easy, but it's not. The huntsman is getting rather perplexed. And Jaunty, as you have cast the silvery barbs, sorry, you feel very strong. You feel like you definitely have advantage on your next attack. We would move on over to disheveled noblewoman, and we will. She's got her foot through the zipper that Strahd's created in the dome, but then it's like closing in on her, so she retracts her foot, looks over to Alfie, and begins to move on over to him.
That's fine. Alfie is very distracted because he's like looking back like through the doors at Jaunty, being like, "See, it's fine. We're doing great. That was so good."
Just make sure they don't kill me again. That's all I ask.
Sora, over to you. There is a vampire immediately before you here.
Which one was that one? The one...
That
Tatty Elf? No.
was Tatty Elf, yes. Wait.
Okay.
Yes, Tatty Elf.
That's the one I wanted to attack anyway. I'll go into rage.
Okay.
And I'll try the Great Sword of Life Stealing. But I did have a question before, because it does say that when I attack a creature and roll a 20 on the attack roll, it takes extra 10 necrotic damage. But that does mean that it needs to be a natural 20, or is it 20 when I add my modifier, or 20 or more?
That's a great question. Could you just read the bit that talks about the 20 out to me again?
It says when you attack a creature with this magic weapon and roll a 20 on the attack roll, that target takes an extra 10 necrotic damage if it isn't a construct or an undead. You also gain 10 temporary hit points.
Now, 20 on the attack roll, for me, indicates 20 in total. But I think that D&D is like, no, you have to roll a natural 20. For the purpose of this game, anything above a 20 will activate that ability, okay?
Thank you. So I'll go into rage. So I think I get 2 attacks. I think, remember, rage, I think I got a +3 then in the damage. So I'll attack Tatty Elf with the Great Sword of Life Stealing.
Yes.
And I'll roll. Does 25 hit?
Absolutely hits. You're after 15, so yeah, that's a very powerful hit.
Nice. So the attack then, it would be the damage, sorry, is 8, but then I add 3 because of the rage, I think. So 11.
11 in total on that first hit. Weirdly, vampires are not resistant to necrotic damage. Fun fact. So certainly takes all of that damage.
Nice.
That was your first hit. You can attack again.
Yeah, I'll attack him with the same one again. So I got the second hit. Does 13 hit?
13 does not hit. You needed 15. Maybe Tatty Elf has grown wise to the sort of movements that you make as you try to attack. Yes, Memory.
Just, Sora, did you roll your bless? Your extra d4?
Good question.
Oh, no.
Roll a d4. Let's see if we can improve on that 13.
Nice. Thank you.
You need 2 or higher.
I kept reminding myself every turn, be like, don't forget to remind these people if they got a bless. And then the first one I forget.
I have a question for Abby. The divine energy that you use, is that from any specific deity, or is it like just a divine aura? What's going on with that?
So I've thought about it a little bit, and there had never been a god that it felt like made the most sense to Abby. So I think he just took, like, he has kind of I think his family had a lot of, kind of, again, divine origins. Like they had been involved in the church in a long time. It's just part of their, like, kind of heritage. But I think but he doesn't really curate it all that much. And I think his oath of paladin that he took for a paladin was just like about an oath of vengeance against Strahd, and like that was what drew him exclusively. And so I think again that might be a little different this time around, but at least the first we saw of him was just truly he had been trained to enact vengeance upon his hated enemy.
The reason why I asked was, as this bless kicks in, turning a non-hit to a hit, what does that look like? What does that divine energy look or feel like to Sora, who that impacts?
Yeah, it is. I think it is just there's just that little spark of like extra confidence that you kind of have in yourself. You know, it's almost very bardic inspiration-y, but is just that something about the way that Abby talked to you, you know, preyed upon you, makes you feel whatever. You are just either driven to be a little better or just hit a little harder or be more intense or whatever. And so it's really just about kind of his presence in the room around you.
Amazing. Can you roll your damage, please, Sora, for that attack?
It will be 11 plus 3, so 14.
Amazing. You slice and dice Tatty Elf. Again, not looking very well at all. Certainly taking that damage. Does that end your turn?
Crazy question.
Go for it.
Are they still doing the weird screech sound to call a Strahd?
Okay, so this round we're still only halfway through, I guess. It takes 6 seconds, so kind of, yeah, they're kind of still screaming, even though Strahd's already done his thing. Maybe the ones who are in the church haven't quite noticed that he's gone. Why do you ask?
I don't know if I'm allowed, but in the crazy hopes to make like an interfere with the sound, I play the bagpipes. Can I just say that sound is really annoying? I don't like that music. And then I just start playing the bagpipes with the hope to blur the sound.
So
or maybe try them not.
Official D&D rules are like, you must use an action for this, but I like it. Can you make a performance check for me, though? Let's just see how crazy this sound is that you make in the kind of rush of the moment.
I like to imagine you've nicked my bagpipes.
I'm bad in performance, but I'll do the check anyway.
Some would say that makes it a more effective bagpipe attack, where it is a worse playing of a bagpipe, which makes it more distracting.
What's that, an 11, Astrid?
11.
Yeah, you kind of need to prepare for bagpipes. Like, you need to inflate the bag to then use it, but you're doing it so quickly. And you're like, how am I going to make this quick? I'm going to add heat. So you create a little flame, which kind of shoots out of the pipes as this happens. I'm going to say, even with the 11, it sounds terrible, but that is enough to distract some of them from doing the scream. Okay, nice. If that ends your turn, we move on over to Crazy Scholar Guy and Blacksmith, both of whom are going to maneuver their way towards Alfie. But that's all they can do on their turn. Last up is Lucian and the villagers. Can someone roll me 2d12, please?
I can do it.
Cool.
Your luck's been real good so far, so you're probably the best person to do it.
I rolled 8 and 8.
Nice. 16.
Hopefully that's a good outcome.
Including Father Lucian Milivoj, Danica Brommenbray, and Blinsky. In total, there are 16 villagers, all armed with holy water. Okay? They are going to be throwing 4 vials of holy water at Tati Vampire, who's in the church. The rest will be thrown at the others. Can someone roll me 24d6, and I will roll the 8d6.
I can give it a go, but I'd do it manually.
Oh boy.
Is that 24? Because I just feel like to split it up between people.
Go for it. Feel free to do whatever you like.
Cool. I can do 5 at a go.
Okay. So that leaves 19 for everybody else to roll.
I can do 6.
So we got 6. 5.
Is it 24 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Shall
roll
I do
7 and
10?
the other person can do 6.
I'll
If you
do
do
6.
Great.
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay. Are you ready for numbers yet?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, I got 21.
Same.
Oh,
23.
I got 22.
22. And 23.
Good.
Very consistent. Well done,
You know
everyone.
what? It's like there's an average. It's great. Cool. So that is many numbers. That in total for just your guys' roll is 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 87. That's a nice number. I'm going to talk to you about the dice that I rolled first. That was for Father Lucian, the main NPCs, Father Lucian, Danica, Milivoj, and Blinsky, and the boys. They each crowd a tatty elf in the church, having just had these bagpipes blown in its face. They are going to just smash this holy water on him. He takes 26 points of holy water damage, and as a result is no more. Where are you? Where are you? You are there. Yep, he is out. The rest of you, we're going to be dividing all of this up between the others. So the villagers are streaming out of the church at this point, emboldened by Father Lucian's words, emboldened by Alfie rushing out there as well. They are all armed with this holy water, and they begin just lobbing it out to the vampires that they can see. They will each roughly take 20 points of radiant damage, and I'm just going to apply that. I'm fairly certain that Huntsman Candy Cane, is going to be down and out as a result. For dramatic effect, how do we want these vampires to die? Are they going to die as bodies, or are we going to go Buffy the Vampire Slayer poof into smoke? Like, into ash,
Yeah.
sorry.
I like the Buffy.
Yeah, I think
As long as they drop loot.
Can we roll for explode into candy?
Yeah.
at least having candy in their pockets, like
Yeah.
even if it isn't like Candyland style, like, oh, they were made of candy the whole time. But I mean, one may have just had sweets.
So what we're asking
Hang
is
around.
is this guy going to pinata? That's what we're asking.
Well,
yes.
That's the other way to go. It's your game list. So it is your world building choice to make.
Sora, can you roll me a D100? Anything that is above a 50, the answer is yes.
Oh, those are good odds for exploding into a piñata.
82.
Hey!
Oh my god. Do you want to tell us, Astrid / Sora, what kind of candy comes out?
Cotton candy.
Oh my god, that's
It's just
amazing.
The poof is just suddenly becomes a cloud and it's cotton candy.
Amazing. So, the visual is the water is thrown. It hits this guy straight in the mouth. Okay. At that point, Alfie would get the best perspective on this, being grappled by this guy right now. Okay. Oh no, you're not. You're not grappled. Excuse me. Cotton candy starts to come out from his mouth, and his eyes begin to bulge. His skin begins to fall away, and then it explodes into ash, which then turns into clumps of cotton candy that then onto the floor. That's him down. You've got your candy, and that little pin of candy cane also falls on top, like cherry on a cake. That's that guy. We then need to turn to Disheveled Noblewoman, Young Soldier, Crazy Scholar Guy, and Blacksmith, all of whom take 20 points of radiant damage. And I will just do that now. Disheveled Noblewoman has already taken some damage, and as a result, she explodes too. We don't get a candy roll for her, though, sadly. But she does explode. I'm going to say she's like running at the dome, but then she kind of hits it and then bursts into ash. Young Soldier, how you doing, hun? Where you at? Again, has taken quite a lot of damage, and as a result of the holy water spray, is no more. We do, however, still have the blacksmith and the scholar guy. They're still going. How you tell the story with me. How do you think the villagers are coping right now? Do you think they're still... I think they'd be pretty amped, having seen their actions.
I mean,
Maybe
they live in that
confused by-
Barovia. Oh, sorry.
Maybe confused by the sudden presence of cotton candy.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I think very reasonable first place to start.
Yeah. Should we do a little sanity check for them? We're not going to go horrid with this, but
Yeah,
You
I don't
know?
know. I feel like we're doing well, but also like Strahd is outside, and like that's just naturally complicated for anyone.
But if they felt brave enough to come running outside of the protection, all en masse with, I think they're feeling kind of emboldened. It's like wary and a bit confused, but like not, they've got hope and energy and pep of some kind at least.
So the little old lady that Father Lucian was talking to before, she's the last one out. She still throws her vial. But she kind of goes face to face with Cotton Candy Mouth Guy. And she's like... she just retreat because she cannot cope with that. It's just one step too far. The rest of them are cool with it, but she has retreated back into the dome. That ends their turn. There are cheers from inside. People are happy. This is good. Top of the round then, Jaunty, over to you. To confirm, we've got Blacksmith and Crazy Scholar Guy. They're still outside of the dome.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is, as a bonus action, for everyone else, it looks like I'm just doing something with nothing. Memory, if you look over, you can see Jaunty close their eyes for a moment, and a ghostly figure seems to coalesce in front of them. They reach out and take a card from behind their ear. And that card has a 6 on it, which is the Tale of the Traveller. I have just used Tales from Beyond, which is a fun little bard thing. So I am going to bestow this card. I'm just going to flick it over to Alfred. But so for the time, and this is my action because it's actually useful. You now have 1d6 plus 5 temp HP. Your walking speed is increased by 10 feet and a +1 to AC. You are muted.
Nathan is on mute, but we can all see how excited he is right now.
Oh, darn it. I'm trying to have good mic discipline and it's failing. But no, Alfie just says, "Oh, this deck, I have missed it."
That wasn't the deck. I can just do that. No, you really should learn my things.
I apologize. He's he can't even he's trying to look at you, but also dodge attacks from vampire spawns. He's like, I am so that is, you are right. I apologize. I should know, but
Stop apologizing. Just get
you
them.
For your help and contributions in keeping me alive. I will
Less
do the
talking,
same.
more hitting.
Yep.
Jaunty, anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
That is my go. I would like to showboat with the shuffling.
Make a
It's
performance
very
check,
fancy.
please. You're telling me this. Let's make a performance check. Let's see how showboaty it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that is a 10 on the dice plus a 5, 15.
15.
Oh,
The
plus a
villagers-
d4.
Oh, shoot.
Just plus. So that is now it's a 4, so that's a 19.
19. Heckin' impressive. I think Brom and Bray maybe have retreated back inside, and they are super stoked. They very much enjoy this trick that you're doing.
I give them an
forgetting-
exasperated zombie. Ugh.
No,
As I do the very impressive trick.
They try and mimic you. You can see that they're not very good at this. They need to experience some angst and bullshit before they can really, emulate this expression. But they're doing okay. Jaunty, that ends your turn. We're going to move on over to memory.
Jokey, how are you looking outside, Mr. Abbey? Are you being swarmed? You good?
Well, I mean, I am definitely about to be swarmed, but in terms of I have a lot of buffs going, and I'm probably, Alfie's cool. Well, I didn't stop Strahd, them from summoning Strahd, so probably going back into the church is a good idea, right? Probably shouldn't be out here with all these creatures with my now limited spell slots. So probably he's about to hop back in shortly.
Okey-dokey. Do you have any by you that you would like pushed away from you? Or are you good?
There is one, I think, Liz, who's like came up to attack Abby. So that would be
they
super
both
grand.
run up to you. I would say they're within 5 foot of you right now, the scholar and the blacksmith.
Yeah, so either of those would be very lovely. Thank you.
Okay. I am going to... I think the blacksmith's going to have too much constitution, so probably aiming for the scholar.
Wise.
For that. But infestation. So I think coming from the graveyard, I'm just going to try and pull as many ghosts around as possible and literally just try and swarm the scholar with them. So, and just needs to take a constitution saving throw. So they're just kind of thinking really hard.
15 on the dice for a... Come on, bro. Come on, Matt. 18 in total.
Okay. I did nothing.
Oh no.
No, unless I can use all of the buffs I've been given to raise my own spell attack modifier.
Oh damn. Oh, how frustrating. I think the ghosts still show up though, like from the graves themselves. They kind of turn up for the party and then wonder why they're there.
Okay, Mr. Abby, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna push them away and then and then just stand there.
They kind of come to you. They're like, yes.
No, you need to go back out. You need to help him.
But we've just got here. Why would we go out?
Why do you never listen to me? You gotta go and help push the bad guys away.
Has anyone seen Pokemon when Charizard is just like sleeping the entire time and Ash is trying to get him to do stuff? That's what's going on with these ghosts right now.
And the only person who can see this is Jaunty.
The undead, am I right?
I know.
Oh wait. Yeah, undead. We're the worst.
You're fine. They're annoying. I don't know. You are coming to it in your own time. Patience, patience. Seasons change. Blah, 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 blah. That is... I have done nothing. So
it was beautiful though.
Yeah, you've tried, and isn't that all any of us can do?
And you've
pat
got
from the butt scratcher. There. Well done, you tried.
Brom and Bray, like, who are you talking to? Does that end your turn, Memory? Anything else you'd like to do as a bonus action or anything else?
The only bonus action I have is healing words, so I'm just going to stand there and just going to go, yeah, sure.
Well, thank you so much for attending. We're going to move on over to Abby. It is your turn.
Okay, so there are two vampiric spawns upon me, correct?
Close to flanking you, yes.
Flanking, eh? I think he's just going to go ahead and play it safe in that, again, he has a little bit of extra AC, but not that much extra AC. Well, with his 0 armor, with his, like, I don't know, workman's blouse that he is wearing at the moment.
You have an apron.
Yeah, right. Like, that's the extra protection at the moment, which is like...
Covers the nipples. That's all we need.
Right, but not the neck, which is kind of a key defensive area in terms of vampiric combat. So I think he's just going to take the disengage action and is going to be like, all right, cool. A tactical retreat. Yes, that's what is needed here. And is just going to try at least to step back. If they want to take, obviously, attacks of opportunity, they will do so at disadvantage.
Nice. Okay. But it's not at disadvantage because they are flanking you, so it's a flat roll from their perspective. So it would be at advantage because, but sure, I'll roll that on. I'll roll with real dice, it's quicker. Okay. So the first was in total 11. I'm guessing that's
miss.
Not doing anything.
Just barely.
The second was a natural 20, I'm afraid.
Silver
Unideal.
Silver bobs.
That deck of cards.
Right. 19 on the 19 in total. Does 19 hit?
Oh, yes, indeed.
So Alfie, you're like, you dodge the first set of attacks. You think you very much dodged the second, and then it just grabs you. Jaunty, let us know who your advantage goes to with the silvery bow spell.
I will give it to Sora again because they look like they're ready to hit something again.
And that was a 18 to hit. Is that correct?
19.
Right? 19. Okay, cool. So no shield required.
Yeah. So the scholar, no surprises here, misses you, but the blacksmith is able to collar you, doesn't deal you any damage, but you are collared just as you're about to enter the dome. Scruff of the neck, scruff of the apron, you're yanked back. That's their reaction. That ends your turn, Alfie. Sora, it is over to you. You see that Alfie is in a bit of peril. What would you like to do?
I'll go attack the blacksmith that is attacking Alfie.
Great.
So I'm still raging. Before I mixed up a little bit. It's +2 in my level, not +3. But I forgot to add the additional 10 for the necrotic damage because it was +20. So Tati Elf is dead anyway. But this time I'll get it right.
I love the honesty, but let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's see.
Let's go for it. So I'm gonna attack with the great sword of life stealing. So let me roll my attack and then the +4. So I have 19, and then the +4.
You also have advantage.
Oh, you also have advantage, so you can attack twice, see if you get a natural 20.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I have in one 22 but dirty, and in the other one I have 12. So the first one is better.
Yep, so that's for your first attack. Great. That certainly hits. Do you want to deal your damage?
Yeah. So the damage would be 13 plus 2 because of the rage, plus 10 because it was over 20, the roll.
Nice.
So 25.
Sora, do you want to tell us how the blacksmith is no more because of you? Tell us what happens.
Sora just rushed like a maniac, like let go my friend, and just ends up like slashing his head. Just make sure that she's not touching Alfie, but.
Oh yeah, with that roll, you're very fine. Yeah, the head does tumble to the ground. Abby, you notice that the grip has released on you as the body then follows. It's gonna poof out into
well-oiled machine. Look at us go.
Sorry, that was your first attack. You may use your second attack if you wish. The scholar is nearby.
Is nearby? Okay, I'll attack then the scholar one this time.
Roll to hit, roll to hit.
Do the hit. So the first one is a 16.
16
and
hits.
Let me see the second one to see the advantage, or
you've used your advantage on the first attack. So
okay, then perfect. 16,
but 16
and
still
then
hits.
The plus.
We're good.
I hits. Okay, let me try the +4 just to see if it reaches the 20 for the extra 10. It was hard, but
you never know.
No, it doesn't. It's 17, but anyway, was worth a try. And then the damage then would be just 12 plus 2, 14.
Still standing after that. But Scholar, both lenses are now gone. What was there of the Einstein hair is now sliced away. A very disheveled looking vampire thrall. Does that end your turn, Sora?
Is there any cotton candy around?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I'll just get cotton candy
you
and
can free
eat the
action
cotton
scoop
candy.
that cotton candy up.
Yep. Keep the blood sugar up. Really important.
It is dotted with ash, but you don't care about that. It's fine. Yeah. Beautiful. At the end of your turn, it is now the scholars go. The scholar, they're not very intelligent. When creatures are intelligent, I'm like, are you going to flee? Is that what you're going to do? But I don't think it would make that choice. It knows that Strahd's watching. You kind of want to look good for the boss because the boss is going to kill you if you don't. So it's going to try and attack you, Sora. There are 2 attacks incoming. It's going to try and grapple you first. That's 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah. 24 will hit.
Now, you're pretty tall, aren't you? You're quite high. So it is going to try and grapple you, but it can't quite reach because he's a little old elderly man. So he's going to just try and cup your waist. That's his grappling of you. But then the second attack is a bite. That is 22 to hit.
22 hits.
So you're going to take 2 types of damage. The first is piercing damage, followed by necrotic damage. Okay? We'll do piercing damage first. The piercing damage that you take will be reduced by half because you're raging. It would be 6, so it's reduced to 3. You take 3 points of piercing.
Mm-hmm.
You then take necrotic damage. The necrotic damage that you take is 7. That's not reduced by half, that's just 7. And your HP maximum is reduced by 7 total. So whatever your HP is, total 30, I don't know how much it is.
But after I did the damage or before? Because my
Total,
maximum
your
was
maximum.
35.
So 35 is now reduced by the necrotic damage that you took.
Okay.
And the number's gone from my screen, I can't remember what it was. 6?
35 minus 7, so it would be
7.
28.
And the vampire regains HP equal to that amount.
But if I get a long rest, it goes back to normal, right?
Correct. The reduction lasts until the target finishes a long rest.
Okay, cool.
Although, if you die, your HP maximum is 0. So, anyway. Cool. That ends its go. It's feeling restored. It's happy about it. So, Father Lucian and the villagers would have to restock their holy water. They will retreat back into the church, but again, there's a marked kind of difference to how they walk and the positivity that these quite morose people have now got. Top of the round, Jaunty. Save us.
Cool. So we've just got one
We've got the
person.
scholar. It's just bitten Sora. It looks a bit restored as a result, and Sora looks a little weakened.
Okay. So Jaunty is prone to making weird decisions in battle, hence why they have died 79 times. So I am going to roll to see how well informed
Go for it.
move is. If it's above a 10, I'm doing well. If it's not, now's the time for a mistake. It was a 10. So I'm not making a hideous mistake. But I might do those when battle gets going.
Jaunty, as you're consciously trying to make a decision, you hear in your mind a voice that you thought had gone.
Oh no.
The voice says, "Darling, that's so boring."
Oh no. What? Okay, if that's boring, what should I do?
Oh, you have to make your own choices, dear. I can't go around making your choices for you.
No, but you can go around criticizing every decision I
never
make.
criticize. I just try to inspire you to do something better next time.
Okay, I have, yes. Actually, Liz, I have a question. I have a cantrip from my Tarocca deck. For the spells it gives me, it has its own DC. For this cantrip, do I use my DC or the Tarocca deck's DC?
Is it the Tarocca deck cantrip?
Yes.
Oh, use the Tarocca deck DC.
Sweet, I now have a cantrip that just has a DC of 18.
Woo!
That's pretty sweet.
Great.
So I'm gonna make eye contact with the scholar, and as an action just go, I hope this is a... I don't know anymore. I'm gonna ring one of my bells on my hat while making eye contact and cast Toll the Dead.
Amazing.
Can it make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Absolutely can. So I will tell you how that's resolved in just a second. We have established that it has not got any lenses left in its glasses, so you make eye contact with him, and he's like, kind of see you through his old man undead eyes. As he does, he rolls a 3 on the dice for not 18. For 3. He's not very wise, just intelligent.
Oh, max damage! 12. I think is it necrotic damage, please.
Do you want to tell us how Scholar Boy is no more?
Oh, I feel like focuses a little bit, and as soon as the noise kind of comes in, wakes up for just a moment before cringing inward as kind of dark energy clouds over his eyes and begins to crumble him from within.
Amazing. He begins to crumble, and as he does, a wail, not the creature, a noise, a wail escapes from its lungs. The wail, all of you hear the noise, not the creature, and it kind of scrapes through your soul, and that in itself triggers a memory for the first time that you ever met a thrall in Barovia. All of you experience this together. It is a shared sensory experience as you are kind of, you have this sort of out-of-body memory experience all together. And I think that is a good time for us to take a little break. See you soon. And we are back. Hello. So our gang were fighting the thralls, aided by... The gang were aided by... The thralls were not aided by. The gang were aided by Father Lucian and the villagers, who were up for it. They were up for fighting. There was a lot of the holy water thrown around. And I believe it was Jaunty with the killing blow to all the dead. And then a whale appeared. No. And then... Bah! And then you heard this screeching wail from the lungs of this scholar vampire thrall that you were up against, the last one that fell. And as it was killed, and as you heard this noise, you know how like things remind you, like scent often reminds you of a place and time that you've been. Very similar, but with auditory, with noise. You heard this noise and you could not help but remember the last time you heard a noise similar to it. Where were you this last time? Well, I'll tell you that you were level 10 for starters. It was before now. You were in the little town just a day's walk from Vallaki to the east. It's called Barovia, the village of Barovia in the land of Barovia. Fun. You had heard that the vicar of this little town, Barovia, was not doing great, and you went to go to check on him. The small church that he was in, not like the church of Vallaki that's kind of nice. His church was rotting, leaking from the roof. No one ever came to it anymore. And we're going to pick up just as you guys have entered this church. You see this broken man, haggard-looking vicar staring up at you with desperation and sadness in his watery eyes. That noise that you heard, the noise that brought this memory back to you, it echoes from beneath you. It echoes from beneath this decrepit church, and all you can hear as you walk through the doors, you see this sorry-looking vicar. All that you can hear are the words, "Father, I am starving." And this is where your level 10 flashback selves come in. So, my players, could you get your level 10 character sheets just so you've got them ready? Thank you. The vicar of this place is called Donovich. You've heard his name from a couple of people at the tavern nearby. His eyes are red from crying, and he kind of registered you coming in. But you can see that this man has paid no mind to his appearance or his hygiene levels, despite having you guess over. He kind of looks at you, is about to talk, and again that wail from beneath the church. "Father!" Who's kind of, in this time, who is leading the group? What's going on with you guys right now? In this memory?
How long ago was this? How many deaths ago was this?
Ooh. I would say this is like, because I know that Sora was like the newbie to the group, right?
Yeah.
I think this is possibly just as Sora's kind of been with you for a couple of days. Sora's very new, I think, at this point. So you tell me how many deaths in you are, Jaunty.
I am 68 deaths in.
A great number. Good.
And I think I'm in the phase, I'm about to have my 69th. Hey. But I think I'm in a phase of being like, okay, if I can control what we're doing, I'm less likely to die. So I'm trying to be more leadership and hoping that has a better result. So I will kind of go in first. Be like, you're not going to try and eat us, are you?
The man in front of you, this vicar, is beyond... Like, he does not know what to do with that question. He looks to the tome of the Morning Lord that he has in front of him, like you're expecting him to deliver you a sermon, and then realizes that he's not up to that, and then says to you, What brings you here? And I think Jaunty, as the first person in, you would see that he immediately goes to step over something. Like he is looking at you, but he shifts purposefully to the right and looks quite defensive.
I am going to activate my what's it called? Ghostly gaze.
Oh, love it.
I summon the ghostly gaze.
Yeah.
They're all around me.
Oh, they're here.
Yeah, they're here. They're always here. But that allows me to see through objects and behind me. So I'd like to have a look at what he's concealing.
Great. So, one of your ghosts. Is it like your ghosts go to find out and then snitch, or can you just see with your eyes?
I think it's I can just see, but I like to imagine that a ghost kind of goes over there and I kind of see through their eyes for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, so one certainly drifts over and needs to go check out what the situation is. The eyes look down and they see that this poor, snivelling little man is standing on top of a trapdoor.
I can see through the trapdoor.
Shoot, you can. Beneath the trapdoor, in fact, beneath this entire church, there is an undercroft, a crypt, I guess. But it is decorated in the similar way that you would expect a teenage boy's bedroom would be. From your standing point right now... From the ghost standing point right now, it would see that there is a silhouette down there of someone sitting at the foot of a bed.
I will do a message to... I can only do it to one person at a time, but I will do it like an independent message to everyone just saying, we've got a trapdoor, we've got someone below, maybe another cultist or a wannabe cultist. Another one.
I feel like Alfie immediately starts looking elsewhere in the place so as not to... He's not a very deceptive person. He probably knows that about himself, though. At this point, hopefully, he'd be dead if he didn't. And so he just immediately is like, oh, quite a tapestry over in this direction that I see you have.
Alfie, as you do that, you can't help but notice that there is a butt scratcher on one of the pews that you're welcome to retrieve if you wish.
Great for armor.
He just like... he picks it up and just kind of like uses it. Like he's like, again, just trying to like fiddle with anything.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just like pick it up and be like, what's the history here then? What's this contraption?
The vicar, I guess, wouldn't have any clue that the trapdoor beneath him has been revealed, so he's sort of like, oh. The butt scratcher is used commonly by the congregation when they come here. Although people's houses are, they're not clean, but, and they do have lice. But they use it often to, relieve themselves, not in that kind of way. I'm not explaining myself correctly, I'm sorry.
This was touched by the masses. Yes,
During Mass, yes.
I see how that could be of interest to certain elements of society. But yes, tell me, what about this thing, this piece of art over here, and blah, 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 and is now just like going off and trying to, right, just keep trying to like get attention on him as much as possible. And is again, not like, he's not like trying to deceive necessarily. It's more of a like, I'm just going to keep being charming and charismatic and ask questions and just like keep momentum rolling so that neither of us has to stop and think about maybe there being a trapdoor or Alfie acting weird.
I love that. Can you roll a charisma-based check, whichever you believe is appropriate for this situation?
I would love...
Take a guidance.
I'm going to contest
Persuasion would be ideal, but I don't know if that's as much applicable.
It feels right. It feels right to me.
Okay. But I will take that. I will take that guidance if it is allowed.
Mm-hmm. You have to beat his 12. His contestable. I'm contesting this for him.
Dirty 20.
Oh shit. Okay. Against his instincts, this very, very sad man is reaching for whatever can stop him feeling as sad as he is. He approaches you and he kind of stops, he kind of falters for a moment. Not because he's left behind what he was standing on, but because... it's a very personal question, Abby, but how old are you?
I hadn't nailed it down, but I think he's probably like mid-ish 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Old enough where he's not just like a kid, but also is like filled with youthful nonsense.
He falters, and I think Memory, who has quite a high insight. That's correct, isn't it? Passive insight, quite high.
Passive insight currently is 19, and I'm prepared to roll to increase it. I actually do want to actively look at him whilst Daunty's leading and Mr. Abby's distracting. I want to just kind of be paying attention closely to him.
Amazing. Memory, you would spot. He looks to Alfie with... when you haven't seen someone for a very long time? And I don't want to bring the mood down at all, but if you've lost somebody, and like if you could see them one more time, the joy that would bring you, it's that hint of joy that he gets on his face, and then it kind of just fizzles away when he realizes the reality of the situation, whatever that might be. I do have a question before we continue with the conversation with him and Alfie, though. Sora, you have been in Barovia for about a couple of days. What are your expectations like? What's going on right now? Because you didn't want to be here in the first breath.
Fairyland sucks. I still think it's fairyland, but just not as people describe it. So she just keeps looking at, okay, maybe the fairies are hiding, or people describe fairies different. So I need to find the fairy with the candy.
Amazing. Do you want to roll an investigation check for me just to see if you can spot one?
Oh, I think I'm bad at those. But let me see. Investigation. Yeah, I'm a -2. Okay.
The dice can be kind sometimes.
10.
10. That's average. You don't find any fairies, I'm afraid. The rest of you watch as Sora begins rummaging around the prayer cushions, the hymn books. You open up a hymn book to try and shake out a fairy, but there's not one there. And as that's going on,
I think I will minor illusion a little sparkle just on the corner of Sora's eye, just to keep hope. Someone's got to have some hope, and that things aren't terrible here.
Beautiful. There's this little tinkling of a potential fairy. Sorry, you look across, and the conversation between Donovich and Alfie continues. I have no idea who you are. I didn't know that you were coming here, but... And there's the wail again beneath. Father...
Well, first, I apologize. I thought I had introduced myself. You may call me Alfie, certainly. And this is, the rest of the group. It is, I appreciate you housing us here. Second, we all, did he react to the whale, I guess?
No.
Or is he just barreling on as if nope, no sounds here?
He's ostriching right now. He's head in sanding this moment. He is blocking that noise out.
Oh. Can I try and stealth over to the trapdoor while he's
Of
distracted.
course you can. Are you actively being stealthy?
Yes.
Great. Can you make a stealth check for me, please?
I
can.
I can cast Pass Without a Trace on you.
Yeah, I might need it because I've got bells that jingle.
Yeah.
This is
I
why
like
I
the
took silence.
I like the idea that Jaunty, to be sneaky, just like grabs a handful of bells and just like sneaks like this.
So that was 15 plus 7 is a 22.
Yeah, of course that beats his passive perception.
Plus 10 if
Oh
it's.
shoot! Yeah. 100%. You are shadow incarnate itself. Strahd has nothing on you. Like, you are the darkness. You are the night. You make your way to the trapdoor as that happens. But I will just snap back to the conversation between Alfie and Donovich. I do not know you, like I said, but you remind me of him. And he kind of grabs your shoulders and kind of nods in an affirming way, like you've done him a favor.
Well, I'm happy that my countenance brings you happiness, or something. Who is him that you are referring to?
He hated living here. The entire time he hated living here, and he went away to make a name for himself. But he never arrived.
I'm sorry, back to the question at hand.
Father, I'm starving. And
yes.
He does look to the floor at that point. Him. He looks to the floor.
Oh, is that what I had heard? Something, and I thought maybe the wind had been making strange sounds. It is Barovia after all. Who is him? And he kind of like, Alfie like raises his voice, is like, him who is in the trap door. Just so everyone knows that now the subject has been broached and whatnot.
He is
Who
not
is the fairy?
He is not the one who left. My son who left did not return. The creature below did instead.
Oh. I'm very sorry to hear that.
He has been there for months now, making the noise. Father, I'm starving.
Do you know what happened?
A man returned with my son. A man dressed as a nobleman, with dark countenance and very pallid skin. He said he was a count, and he had come to return what was mine, and that I should be glad of it.
Alfie just gets this disgusted sneer. And is everyone else hearing all of this now?
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, yeah, it's a very echoey church. You can hear all of this.
Fair. And he looks at everyone else and just says, Strahd.
From what we know, do we have any inclination of what has returned below? Or if it just might be an innocent little reborn, like myself?
That's a really great
freeing.
Question. Do you want to roll an insight check for me?
Sure. Okay, 5 plus 9.
Oh,
14.
Hey. Yay, modifiers.
Yeah. Double
It's
10.
it's really hard to say, because even with your ghostly gaze, love the phrase, you can't see the face, but you've had a good idea of what this place is like. Not everything is as it seems, and especially this time, any hope that you tend to have for good, it usually turns sour. So you really want to think he is a nice reborn, longing for a better life, but if Strahd is involved, it's unlikely.
Mm-hmm. So I am kind of crouched by the trapdoor at the moment. I was about to open it and I was like, Strahd, right, yeah, I see. Kind of turn back to the conversation, just say, have you considered burning it? That's usually the first thing that you should do. Is it like, yes, burning.
Oh, am I?
Burn.
I would hope to return his soul to him, for my son to return to me again.
I don't mean to be rude, but how successful have you been so far?
Father!
Because it kind of sounds like you're torturing this creature because you can't commit to a course of action.
Roll? That feels like intimidation. That feels like an intimidation check. He's going to have to do some soul-searching. I'll roll a soul-searching check in response. He got an 8.
Solid, 19.
Oh boy, yeah. I never thought about it that way. He goes about and he is fishing around. I'm going to say that the altar's got like lots of little intricate boxes, and he pulls one out and there's a heavy key. I must free him at once. No, you are right. Maybe by freeing him, I will free his soul, and he will come back home, and we will live together, and he can become the true man that he wished to be.
That's not the direction I was
He can
going.
get paid work. He can live. He can live.
Yeah,
Boy.
Death isn't the end for everyone. Like, yeah, it's miserable when you're undead. You're in pain all the time, you're tired, but, there's hope. Right?
I'm in pain and I'm tired all the time. Anyway, I think it is this place. And I'm alive. God only knows how he is feeling. Are you opening the trap door, Jaunty?
You know what? I moved. Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. He steps up to you and goes, I think you'll need this, and gives you the key to open it with.
Oh, yeah, that's how these work.
Are we sure that?
I'm just going to look at Miss Abby going, this is not where I was going with this point.
I am the leader, and I will do things that will not get us killed.
Yay!
The trapdoor opens. There is only darkness beneath. I know you have dark vision, but it's like a grayscale version of the floor that you're currently looking at. What would you like to do? There's a ladder.
Is there any stick or something that I can blow a torch for?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I am bad in those.
Sora must be good in some checks.
Oh, about 16. The dice were not too bad.
You find another butt scratcher, which you can certainly use to light a torch. This little scratchy fist, you may...
Yeah.
I'm going to say each of the fingers has got a little flame of its very own.
Light.
Do you descend down the trapdoor? Do you go down?
Yeah, the fairies might be hiding there.
It might be. You just don't know. You don't know where they could be.
I feel like Sora is lulled into a false sense of security by the jingle of my bells, which sound a little too merry for the location.
So the trapdoor has opened. There's a very distinct smell that arises when you open the trapdoor. It is of someone who has not been living for a very long time. Jaunty, how's your hygiene? I'm assuming you don't smell.
Not generally, but there's a whiff if you get a bit too close.
A bit cheesy.
A bit cheesy.
So the scent coming from the trapdoor is of death, but it's also of lynx. Like the spray, the body spray lynx, Africa to be precise.
Oh no, what have we done?
You descend into what appears to be a young man's bedroom under this church. Think emo Barovian, late teens, early 20s. There's a D&D equivalent of a traffic cone down here. There's a modded lute that looks like an electric guitar. There are posters like taped all over the walls. One is quite striking. It's by an unmade bed where Jaunty saw the hunched figure, who is still there. The poster on the wall shows a paladin lady, and I think, Sora, this is good for you to see, if you're going first. There's a paladin lady in full plate armor. She has a large amulet around her neck on this poster. The amulet is of a blazing sun, and there is a red crystal in the center which is glowing.
Is she live or dead? She's the dead, the one that has been dead for a while.
The poster is of a live paladin. It's just a poster on the wall of this paladin, and she has an amulet around her neck with a crystal on it. But beneath the poster, at the foot of the bed, you glimpse the gaunt shape, hunched at the foot of this unmade bed. Greasy emo fringe covering the majority of his face, apart from like the corner of his mouth. And you can just make out a glint of a long fang as your butt scratcher torch lights it up. What would you like to do? All of you, I assume, are filing down here, seeing this. Yes, Jaunty?
We have now established that MCR songs exist in this universe,
100%.
as of the previous session.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to whip out my lute and play Welcome to the Black Parade. See if I get a response from...
Make a performance check for me, please.
18 on the dice, plus a 9 for a 27.
You know how the emo kids, when, like, emotion's everything, right? Unless it's liking something. So you can see that it's awakening something in him, but he doesn't want to show it. So, like, he just kind of flicks his hair a little bit and tries to not show you anything of his face. Are these for me, father? He says. Is it a gift for your son? I am starving.
Oh, this is the one that's going to eat us. Maybe I shouldn't have opened the door.
Don't be weird. It's very off-putting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, not you.
Oh.
You're fine. You're wonderful.
As you say, don't be weird. The head tilts perhaps more than it should. As he regards you. Yeah. And, like, he kind of begins to crawl slightly on the floor towards you, looking at you. From, like, through the fringe.
Okay, look, they're dead. I'm a tree. They're new. He's still shiny. Don't just stand up like a normal person.
He's not a normal person anymore. Strahd made sure of it.
As you say stand up, he's going to, like, jump onto all fours, like in Dawn of the Dead, you know, the little girl in the basement. He's going to jump onto all fours, and then he's going to jump to the ceiling to be upside down, looking at you.
No matter how many times I see that, it remains lame as hell.
Cool. Earthbind and bringing him back to ground again.
Amazing. What does he need to do?
A strength saving throw.
Oh, he's got little bean arms. He's not going to be able to do that. Let's see. Oh, that is a 7 on the dice, 9 in total.
No,
What does it look like then as Emo Boy is dragged to the ground?
Just kind of reach up and, like, the branch is kind of going to extend out into, like, vines, and I'm just going to just grab him and just pull him straight down, going, no, sit, shush.
And then he kind of looks at you in that way. He does flick his hair out of his face, and he's going to say, you told me to stand up.
Like a normal person, don't be all weird. Like, okay, you there.
He's like trying to bite you.
Okay. I mean, you can bite me. I don't think I've got blood. It's not going to do anything helpful.
You might get
Give
food
me a
poisoning.
taste.
I could get poisoned.
Do
No
you
biting.
offer me a taste?
Ew.
I've got blood, if you care for it, monster.
I'm starving. He made sure of that, and he glares across to Donovich, who's come down with you, who kind of like grabs his amulet and kind of bats against the wall.
At this point, neither of us had the mushroom tea, did we? It would
No
be
mushroom
funny
tea in
to-
this, not on this timeline. There is no mushroom tea.
What do you say, monster? Would you like to try to take my blood?
I would.
Foul spawn of Strahd that you are.
Come closer.
Alfie walks up and just as he kind of gets in range, is going to say, like, whisper a prayer, and is going to cast Word of Radiance and just like uses this like cantrip spell to just like boom, like hit him with a bunch of radiant energy.
He won't be able to counter that at all. He is restrained at the moment.
Yeah, it would be a Constitution saving throw if we care to do the damage or whatever. But either way, that is what Alfie is doing. Is like he's just walking up and is just like kind of very intensely and without much consideration, just boom, holy power out.
Yeah. It kind of lights up this entire teenage boy bedroom. And you see like the side of his face that this hits is beginning to kind of go and melt away. Do you sort of continue doing it until he is no more, or is it just like a warning shot?
I think he says it once, but I think this is kind of later Alfie. I think there was probably a stretch where he would just keep going. Kind of in the angsty, edgy portion of his kind of like vengeance paladin arc, and would have just done it. But so Alfie would then turn to the rest of the group and just say, "We know what this child has been turned into."
Father, can't you see what they're doing to me, Father? Free me. Tell them to let me go, Father.
Just gonna cover his mouth with the fins.
I really like how Strahd has graduated from turning people into vampires and vampire spawn to also turning them into incels. It's an interesting strategy.
That's how it works. Is it's just one. It only
The
takes
Barovian way.
one big incel to start influencing other impressionable teen boys, who aren't getting what they need in life, and then suddenly you have this.
So, to cure the incel, cut his hair, give him a bath, get him a job.
Yes.
I do want to try cut his hair. Can I cut his hair with my dagger?
Of course you can, yes. How dexterous is Sora?
I think that one is not too bad. Give me a second. Dexterity.
I will
plus
be asking
one.
for sleight of hand specifically.
Sleight of hand. Okay, 1 second. Plus one. It's not worse.
Hey, go for it. I mean, I'd say go for it anyway, but I just... Intrigued.
12.
It's above average. It's above average. Are you doing so under the advice of Jaunty? Jaunty, are you aiding in this?
Yes, you know what I am.
So under the advice of Jaunty, would you mind rolling again, Sora? So we're going to roll with advantage. Let's see if you get a better... We're going to see how this haircut looks afterwards. That's what I'm aiming for.
It was a sleight of hand, right? One more time. Ooh, 10. The first one was better.
So haircut... So it's going from the full emo fringe. What are you turning it into instead?
Mohawk.
I love this.
Yes.
I
Emo
want to
graduates to punk.
I want to know what we're using for gel, but sure. Mohawk it is. I think the grease that he already has will aid you in creating this. It was only a 12, so I think he still has some little long bits, like longer sections here. But hey, it's an improvement. You can see both eyes, which we couldn't do before. You can't see his mouth because that's covered by Earthbind. I think that's possibly the biggest damage you could have done to him. Like, that was who he was. If he had any shred of who he was before, that was it. And you've taken that away. He looks defeated now.
Come on. Okay, so here's the thing. And I want to cast, use my Fey Presence just to make him, the vines are going scarier and the shadows are not evil shadows, but just like subterranean. Gonna go and stop this mess and this nonsense because you're making this priest daddy really upset. And you're gonna go and get a job at the butcher's, and because you can be a normal-ish, different person after you die or turn into things. You're not the same, but you can still be successful and have a thing. Because if you don't, we're very tired and we're very preoccupied with other things, but we will come back and we will find you and we will turn you into a prep.
Oh my god. The evils that he is giving you as you're saying all of this is immense, but can you roll a persuasion check for me?
Oh, he is also
Guidance.
frightened of me by far. How much is the guidance?
D4, I believe.
Yeah. Dirty 20.
What is the highest part? Like, what is the most important part of what you've told him is going to happen? What do you want him to take away from that? Like, what is the number one thing you want him to do?
There's still hope in memory that people can just lead normal lives after bad things happen to them. I just want him to be a person. He doesn't have to be a happy person, but he wants him to be a person, not to be a weird vampire thrall subject to his whims and his biology, just to be a person and stop being weird. And then he can get a job.
I want you to roll an insight check again. With advantage, because you're kind of tethered to him. You've got the spell controlling his movement.
Rolled an 11 for a dirty 20.
Vampire thralls are very specific. They're thralls for a reason. They are enthralled by the person who made them. Without that, they would simply be feral creatures. However, there's a shred of who this boy once was still there. But you get the feeling that he is still compelled to act. Maybe not of his will. Something else is perhaps a little more persuasive than you. You still get the impression with that 20 that he will certainly try, because maybe he can grow his hair back and get to a barber and sort that out, but he's still really hungry. And the hunger's driving him, but that little voice in his head, the voice of Strahd that he is following, is his number one priority.
Sweater vests.
Sorry, Jaunty.
Oh, I have a question. If I look around the room, can I see any evidence of a hobby or a creative pursuit at all?
Make an investigation with advantage because of your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was a nat 20. For 24.
Looking around, you see a lot of figurines in his room, and these figurines are of beasts that prowl these lands. Some of them are werewolves, some of them are bears, some of them are owl bears. Some of them are beasts that you've not seen here before, like dragons. You see little miniature figures of adventurers as well. And you see a screen, and on it there are written words, rules. And you see a set of 7 dice on a shelf. They look well used. The numbers are slightly rubbing off. They're made of bone. Kind of cool.
Can I reach out within myself to my patron, the Muse Eternal?
Hello, darling. You don't need to ask me that. Of course you can. I'm always watching. Monitoring. Watching.
Yeah. One of the two. A delight as always. Thank you for being available to me at all times. This incel child is a storyteller, an artist in the making, but has lost himself to Strahd. Can you do anything? Maybe like he can create good stories for you as well.
Does he die well?
I mean, he's already died once.
That's
I guess.
a good point. Yes.
Find out.
If you can do the thing, I can certainly try to bring him back differently. What do you think? He won't be my favorite, though. You'll be my favorite. Don't forget about that.
Yes, I know I'm your favorite, no matter what I do.
It's unconditional, darling.
It's unconditional. Yep. I know. I'm grateful every day.
I know, and you keep telling me, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Liz, what is the thing?
Oh, she would like you to kill him.
Ah.
Oh.
Yes. And there's a chance that he'll be brought back as not an incel.
Oh, I can't have an incel following me, can I?
No, of course not. No, never.
We don't want to attract that sort of crowd. That's not who we are.
No, see, that's why you're my patron and not somebody else. You have standards.
Who else?
I haven't been seeing any other patrons. You're the only one for me.
I should bloody well hope not. After all I've done for you. You wouldn't hurt me like that, would you?
No, we're like this. We're like this.
Forever.
Best of
you
all
and I, together.
Forever. This is my life. Okay. Let me just kind of go over how is our boy looking?
Hard to say because most of his face is now covered. The eye work is spectacular, though. Like, you get the impression that he has had it with being trapped. He is still very hungry. The mind is kind of slipping towards the hunger now. That's the feral side's kicking in.
Mm-hmm. I'd say because Memory is the one holding him in the earthen grasp, I'm going to go over to Memory and just kind of whisper, I've spoken with a certain deity. They say they can bring him back, but, you know, as a better undead and not this mess. And, you know, like, there's worse things to be. Like, an incel is worse, I guess.
He's gumming on my fingers and it's very uncomfortable.
It looks gross.
Emotionally uncomfortable right now.
You can see the saliva dripping through. So, if we kill him...
Yes, yeah. Where's his... I just want... Maybe...
Can I barbecue him?
Yes. You know what? I'm the leader. I make good decisions as your leader, currently.
Mr. Abbey, can you go and talk to the priest over somewhere away?
Vi, what is about to happen? He's in the room with you.
Good things. Hopefully.
Give him a makeover.
I can see what you've done already with the hair. You know, I have been telling him for a very long time that the whole fringe thing, it is not working. No one can see his eyes. And now we can see his eyes. Look at them, beautiful eyes, just like his mother.
This is all very stressful. Yes, I can do that. As long as, Jaunty, this is not just something you think you can do, but something that you think might be good for others, sharing the same fate that you hold at the moment.
Well, if it's an option between my fate and this, gestures to the room, And the smell.
That is not the extent of the options.
There are other options?
A cessation.
That's
An end. The same end that we all get, the same end that I have vowed that servants of Strahd and Strahd himself will also get.
Is this that undead thing again? We've discussed this. It's a little bigoted now that I'm undead.
It's not, it is not undead. It is, you with your great many card tricks and or personal abilities, both of which are very valuable and to me indistinguishable. But it is a Strahd thing. Strahd controls this individual, first and foremost. And that is something that the less of we can ensure, the easier our eventual confrontation with him will be. And I also know that while I certainly appreciate you continuing to be here, I know that your existence has caused you some strain. And even if you are able to do this thing, that is a heavy burden to place upon all involved. I do not say that there is a right or wrong in it, just asking.
You're certainly implying a right or a wrong.
I state what I would do
for
safety, for the principle, but I am also just barely wise enough to know that there are others who might have other opinions and other viewpoints.
And what I'm saying is that if we can transfer control from Strahd to she who I'm not going to mention by name, is Papa still here? You're on mute.
Yes, he is.
Then, that's still taking someone away from Strahd and not killing unnecessarily and bereaving a father again.
Certainly, as long as this, again, is something that you wish, the pain that I know you struggle with is something to bring to others. But I trust you on this, if that is your decision, sir. And he turns to the father and is like, my companions have something that they would like to try. Please, if you would come with me upstairs.
Do you not need me? Surely my presence will help.
No. I think both of our presence would be a hindrance to their efforts. Please. And he just gestures for him to go up in front of him.
He gets to the ladder and he's like, you see him faltering on the rungs in that he can't, he's obviously quite old. He struggles to get up the ladder. Do you assist him with getting up?
I think that there's Alfie is not a particularly heroic paladin in his current incarnation. He is one driven by a vendetta. But behind him is a poster of a stalwart paladin, right?
That's
the platonic ideal.
That's a good point.
And he's standing there also still in full armor, still with a gleaming shield and holy symbol and all that good stuff, and would just gesture of it's time for us to go up. But go ahead.
You've made a really great point. Speaking of the poster, now D&D have a rule where religion is an intelligence check. Personally, I feel like religion should be, in this sense, either wisdom or charisma based on your class. So could you make a religion check for me but use your class mod instead?
Certainly.
Because intelligence is just silly.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. 11.
11, you don't know the person, but
there's a lot of paladins, I don't know.
But the item is legendary. It is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. A very powerful object said to stop undead in their tracks. Just so you know. But you help Donovich up the stairs. What are the rest of you doing? What's going on?
Go make
He's
him.
too pale. You go first, Memory.
Then just yell at the father to go make him a snack. That's what he can do. Okay.
And Alfie's like, all right, what does Jaunty like to eat?
Jaunty
I should
doesn't
remember.
eat.
That's right. Well, yes,
But
make
likes
a
tea.
snack. Someone will eat it. Someone will eat the snack.
The boy's too pale. Need a tan.
Mm.
Burn.
So, can we do this without burning me? That would be nice.
If everybody moves aside,
Eh,
I'll just burn the boy.
go for like his top half. I'm going to keep the rest of him down.
Amazing. Yes, Sora, tell us what you're going to do.
Okay, so Sora gets everyone out. The
Mhm.
boy is still just where he is.
Yeah.
And she'll just blow the fire breath directly to his face.
What you imagine would happen does. This guy's restrained. Fire plus vampire is probably not a great idea for them. He certainly takes that damage. And as he takes that damage, Jaunty, you hear in your mind, so what do you think? What do you think we're going to turn him into? Come on, ideas. Give me ideas.
A functioning member of society.
Give me more.
Okay. A sexy policeman.
Yes, yes, I like it.
Okay, good.
right.
Yep.
Who tells stories? You said stories.
Who? Sorry.
You said something about stories that he.
Yes,
told
he tells stories. You see the dice and the minis. He does collaborative stories. So maybe we
Right.
can get him together with some other sexy policemen to continue to tell those stories.
I like it. Okay, cool. Right, good. As his face is burning, you see the mohawk dissolve away, and there is sign of a godly essence here. There's like a whirling around him of mystic energy, and where the Mohican was, as it burns away, the fire also diminishes. And you see a very slick back, very well-to-do hair. The skin is still quite pale,
Oh,
but the eyebrows are
Pam didn't
sexy
work.
and they are very well, trimmed. The eyes no longer have anger in them, but a sense of duty, I think is the best word, and creativity. You can't see much else because I think he's still grappled, but
Oh, if Sora's aiming for the face, I've kept myself from like around the waist and the legs. I do not want to be burnt.
Got you. Yeah, so the kind of pigeon-chested, hunched-over young man kind of becomes more broad and, evened out. We're not talking full Dorito body, but he's kind of toned. Looks like he could wear a uniform very well and be just and kind with it, but also very passionate with stories. Yeah, there's a transformation here. I think the severance with Strahd only Jaunty would feel through their patron. It's like ripping a piece of paper. And he tries to fight back, but you hear in your mind, I don't think so, darling, this one's mine, as the paper finally rips. And there is a young man before you. Great hair, great eyebrows. I'm so sorry. I was just so hungry. I am still hungry. You see, the fangs are no more, though. The fangs have gone.
Do we have any food we can offer? I feel like Sora would feel bad for him and give him candy.
Tell us
food.
about Reborn, Evie. What?
So it tends to vary. Generally, though, can't really eat anymore because it just kind of sits there.
Oh.
But you can enjoy the taste. of things sometimes, for some reborn, and the spell and the warmth.
He, if he may, will stand up properly this time, not weirdly. And he's going to go rummage in his drawer, and you see that he takes out the Barovian version of Mountain Dew and begins like chugging it. And you can see like he's happy with the flavor, he's happy with the taste. He kind of like, oh, that is weird, but I like the taste.
You're gonna have to drain that.
What do you mean? Like that was.
We finally did something good in Barovia!
Yay!
Finally, after all this time, something didn't go to shit immediately.
It's been a while.
Before we cut away from this flashback that you're all having, is there anything else you would like to do? Or say, or have fun with?
I mean, so how's it feel? I should get my vines off your thighs. Hi.
I mean, you can. No, I won't say that. My name's Doru. I didn't catch your name.
Memory.
That is a beautiful name. Perhaps would you? I'm sorry. I've never met anyone like you before. Could you have inspired me to create a story for many people to hear about? There is no one like you I've ever seen before. A kind person. One who has a great grasp on my thighs. No, one who has a great grasp on life. I think I would tell stories of you.
Just leave.
Just leave. Okay. I don't have to tell stories about. I'm confused.
They
Is
will
it
tuck
because of
Memory's
how I am?
number into his pocket.
Oh.
Or the equivalent of.
Or
Likes
ascending
you.
stone coordinates or whatever.
They did a good, and she's being treated like a person. This is a very good day. And she doesn't know what to do with it.
And he's like, he tells us sort of like, you're so cool. Like, oh my god, I wish I could be as like. I'm trying. I really am trying, but they just won't grow. He talks for a while. Donovich.
Did you
does
like
come
hair?
down.
Sora did good job with hair.
The hair is yes. Did you do my eyebrows as well? Because like, I mean, they feel better than they were before.
Fire probably did, but yeah.
You know, fire is the great balance in life. And he goes on about a story about fire and how it brings life from it. Donovich will come down, and you see a very lovely embrace between him and his son, who is going to start off his new life as a sexy policeman who tells stories. Well done, everybody. I enjoyed it. And with that, we're going to snap out of your flashback memory. You are back in the Church of the Morning Lord in Vallaki. You come to your senses. Not much time's passed, even though it feels like it has. Father Lucian is gathering the townsfolk. They start to kind of sweep away the ashes and the cotton candy from the deceased vampires.
Don't swipe the cotton candy. Eat the cotton candy. People here don't know candy.
They don't. They pay no respect to the candy.
I feel like Sora would be trying to get the candy and just shove it in people's mouth.
Do it, yes. Some are very receptive of this, some are not. But you're able to do that all the same. I'm going to say that you return to the tavern with Danica, who, as a way of thanks, is going to reimburse you for the coin that you spent so far. You protected the town. You protected her boys. Together, as a community, you have saved Vallaki. And I'm going to say that sleep takes you. Please feel free to take a long rest as your level 3 selves. Unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
Does my max XP goes to the normal or
Correct.
to the new normal? Ah, okay.
Normal because of long rest.
Thank you.
There's a solid hour of just persuading the ghosts that were woken up from the graveyard to go back to bed, and then running small errands of, okay, so your great aunt Susan says that you actually she left a small necklace behind the fireplace, and you can use that. There's like an hour of this.
Some of them go, some of them come back like, no, she's gone now. The necklace is still there though. What do you want me to do?
I think she just wanted you to know that she'd put it there, and then also that there's some letters, and not to read them and to burn them. Burn the letters. Do not read the letters. They're very spicy.
They say okay, and they come back because they can't open the letters because they can't interact with the physical world. So, they're not burned anyway, so even Stevens. It's a very frustrating night for you, Memory.
Stop asking me to do things and go to bed.
They do eventually. I have a question for Jaunty, just because of the whole reborn thing. What do you do with your time when you're not kind of in a trance? Because you kind of trance, don't you, instead of sleeping?
Yeah, so kind of. It's just inactivity. So I find a duvet. I find maybe some scented candles, and I cuddle up, maybe like with a book, and just kind of try and take some me time.
Yeah, nice.
I think at some point, maybe still huddled in the duvet, I'd like to find time to have a little conversation with Alfred, if possible.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think at some point Alfie would like come by specifically before pre-trance, pre-sleep, pre-alone me time, because we all know that's a very sacred portion of Jaunty's long rest ritual is alone time. Perfect.
Nice. I want one. Continue.
Oh.
Hey, Freddie.
Yes. Oh, first, I'd been meaning to thank you. As always, fantastic job today.
Thanks, it went better than expected.
Yes, it did. And he kind of like, are you like, I assume you're like, he like goes up, does the thing where he like leans his back against the wall and kind of like slides down it, to like a sitting position.
I have put a pillow right before where you're going to fall, because I can see where you're going to go down.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, I have a question.
Certainly, yes.
At the end of that fight, there was a sound that reminded me. Do you remember that incel we turned into a sexy policeman that tells stories?
I do. I often think of him. I wonder what sort of, law enforcement individual he's become and what sort of stories he tells.
Yeah.
Perhaps one day, well, if we are truly back into doing all of this, then perhaps maybe we'll go back another time.
I have a question or a statement. I need one of you guys to play him as an actual character at some point. Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Continue.
Yeah, I was thinking about him. I do wonder how he's doing. With how everything's going, I am wondering if we made a mistake and we just delayed the inevitable. Everything here, moment something good happens, you get to level 10, you're fighting Strahd, you're on your way out, and then suddenly you're not. Do you think that fate kicked him in the butt as well?
Well, first, I think the answer to your last question is yes. Anyone here in Barovia, us certainly included, has gotten kicked in the pants by fate.
Cheers.
Whether or not it was a good or bad thing, I don't know. I thought it was, I thought I had an idea of what the right thing was. I thought I had some clarity, but whatever it is that you did worked, at least as far as we know. But maybe more importantly, I'd really like to believe that it worked. I apologize in advance because I know who I am talking to, so please know that. But I'm tired Oh, this place is exhausting.
It's the worst.
And we all found our ways to keep going until we got to the castle. For whatever reason, whether it was an end, a beginning, or if it was just we, like me, gathered as much anger and righteousness and vengeance that we could and pointed it towards Strahd and used that as fuel. And then fate kicked us in the pants again. And I'm tired of it. And I don't know that I can be that angry again, especially if we want to do all of this again. I'm too tired for it, and I would much rather. I have used up all of the hate. I've used up all of my vengeance, all of my righteousness, and maybe all that is left is that little tiny speck of hope that maybe we started with, that has been otherwise ground out of us. And maybe we can, at least maybe I can try to hold on to that a little longer this time. And so I'd like to think that we did the right thing, that you did the right thing, that it turned out all right, or at least think that at least giving it a shot was the right thing. I don't know if that answered the question.
Mm-hmm. Did feel good to do something good, create something. Maybe he is out there telling stories. Maybe he made his corner of Barovia better. I am thinking of reaching back out to the muse.
You should. I mean, and I'll tell you, it didn't feel good doing having not done that, having chosen destruction. I was so ashamed, conflicted, I don't know, tired. After you all emerged and he was talking about his, I don't know, fanciful fictions and all that. And I don't know. We've tried it one way. That didn't work. Maybe we can try it again. And if I'm to choose one, I'd really like to choose yours. The way that you blazed on that day of you being the leader.
Oh no. I think, did you hit your head? Are you feeling, I feel your temperature. Are you really, you need to sleep? There's something wrong here.
I do. That is true. But, and also, I think it's fair to say that there's many things wrong all over. And again, I don't have it left in me to be righteous and angry and all of these other things.
Yes, okay, dear, you've said it. No, go sleep on it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
We'll circle back tomorrow, okay, buddy?
Yeah. And he pushes himself up against the wall and, turns to kind of find whatever cot or whatever. I assume we might even be still in the church at this point, because who knows what might happen. And sleeping on consecrated ground seems like a smart thing to do. And then he just turns and says, well, for what it's worth, if we are to do this again, I am pleased to still be here doing it with you for as long as we are doing it. And he just turns and trudges away.
Yeah. In a very small voice. Me too.
So, just a little note. I had you placed just back at the tavern. As much as I do love the consecrated ground idea, I think they are shutting the doors of the church just to, shut up shop for the evening. But would you be in your own separate rooms, or did you kind of book out a room for all of you together, like safety in numbers, or are you having your own individual rooms?
I guess my question, and this is something for us to decide, is so like I feel like we did establish that we were kind of like sleeping at different places and like living sort of separate lives, but then we just meet up in the afternoons to chat. Sure. Mm-hmm. But I guess the question is, would we as adventurers have been sharing rooms or sleeping in the same like inn or whatever? And are we doing the thing that we used to do, or are we doing the thing that we had previously, that we like the quote unquote new version of us that we had been doing maybe the day before?
But for the purpose of this evening, Danica has offered you free room and board. It feels a bit rude to go back to your places of establishment and be like, "Hi, I know it's really late. Can I come in?" So you've got free rooms for the night. So please.
And my my boss was a Strahd spy all along anyway. So I'm like extra uninterested, and that's not a place I'm going to be sleeping for sure.
Exactly.
Also, I'm a busker. Would I just be sleeping on the steps?
Totally.
As long as I can bring the cats to the inn, I'm fine.
Speaking of cats, Sora, your bed is covered in cats as you are sleeping. Some of them kind of hop up through the window, make their peace with you. Night takes you. You may all process a long rest. You awaken, all of you, quite abruptly to the sound of banging, and the banging is directly on Sora's door. Sora, you awake with a start. The cats scatter. Someone is banging ferociously on your door.
Sora's not a morning person, so I feel Sora will rush to the door really, really angry.
Okay, you open the door in anger. You see Danica, the bar lady, looking at you with eyes of desperation, and she says, "Brom, Bray, have you seen them?
Oh,
have you seen them?" Yes.
No, just cats. No kids.
They have gone. They went out to the festival to see the lady with the cart and the pastries, and that was hours ago, and I've been trying to find them, and they have not come back.
You said
have
pastries.
Any of your friends? I said pastries, yes.
I'll go pastries. I'll find the kids and pastries.
Okay. She says, Do you know if any of your friends have they seen them? She's clearly like panicking. She's so worried.
Don't worry. We'll ask, and we'll all go for pastries and kids and pastries.
The bad pastries. So here's the thing: Memory doesn't sleep either. Memory can now Memory's changed Druid circle and no longer blighted. So it has been one of the extra cats hanging out in Sora's room.
Oh, nice. Amazing.
There's just a few flowers in the fur, but just like a pretty much normal cat.
Amazing. Oh, I
really
love that.
Proper flesh for a while. It's just like, it's the ones from the poem, Bad Pastries. Hi. So I think it's the bad ladies with the pastries that we ate that were bad, that we told them not to. We need to go find them.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay, let's go for the others. We'll go get the pastries and the ladies.
She's doing that thing that desperate people do, and they try and just grab on to you as you pass, but she eventually kind of lets you go and kind of says, "Please make sure they are okay, and please come back as soon as you can, and make sure the Bray has tied his shoelaces, because he always forgets," and rattles off a really long list of things. But yes, please go and inform the others.
So can Sora just go to the room of the others and just bang the door? Pastry time! Wake up!
I can't eat pastries. You know this.
Oh,
yes.
There are some kids.
disappeared?
It's the creepy ladies who stole the kids.
What?
Wait, some
okay.
creepy ladies stole some children.
Pastries. Yes, I'll take one. Thank you. Children gone?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, the little kids from yesterday.
The one that gave you tea.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Like this is Barovia. We know what's up here. I can only do this once at dawn. It's just, I'll do it. I'll do it for the kids. And I'm going to take out my Tarocca deck, and I'm going to cast Scrying.
Tell Liz what scrying does, because I can't remember, but I love it.
You can see or hear a particular creature you choose on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. If the target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily to be observed.
Who are you casting it on?
One of the boys, the one that carried the pot.
Brom.
Can I ask, did I hear the description?
Of the
Did
boys?
I hear of the card? Like that she needs to know because the mom just gave me a rant of everything that the kids do. So I feel like sort of would be, oh yeah, mom said kid never ties the shoes, kid is always running around, kid prepares good mushroom tea but breaks the bag.
Okay, that's good. Do we have like something that belongs to them or a picture?
Danica kind of rushes around. You hear rummaging upstairs. She rushes down and brings his little teddy bear. It's of a little raven.
Perfect. Okay, so this teddy bear will give me if you've got something like a hair or a toenail or a baby tooth.
The toy will work.
The toy will, okay.
It's got actual feathers in it, and you're not quite sure what that means, but she is confident in that it works.
Okay. So I think that the boy Brahm needs to make a wisdom saving throw. And I wouldn't say I know the target well, so there isn't a -5, but I have a close personal object with apparently bodily parts on it, it's implied. So that's -10.
Okay.
And we know, of course, that 6-year-olds are particularly very wise individuals.
Yes.
In total, with all of that, it's 6.
Cool. Fails, which means on a failed save, the spell creates an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. You can see and hear through the sensor as if he were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration. A creature that can see invisible objects can see the sensor as a luminous orb. So I hear where Brahm is right now.
I love this. Okay.
And it's manifested through a card reading, and then the cards begin to move and to paint the image as they're all kind of laid out together.
So you're going to do a card reading to start this off. The cards that you pull are the same. Weird, you've shuffled. It's the same reading from before. Didn't quite elaborate on what happened with that, so I'll tell you now. The card at the center, the most important one, is the crone, the seer, the diviner. Makes sense for this situation, right? The top one, at the top of the diamonds, is artifact. Importance of physical objects that must be obtained, protected, or destroyed. The one to the right-hand side is the broken one. Defeat, failure, and despair, the loss of something or someone important. The one at the bottom, innocent, a being whose life is in danger, whether they know it or not. The one to the left is ghost, the looming past, the return of an old enemy, or the discovery of a secret buried long ago. These cards are laid out one by one, and your vision moves and hones in on Brom. You see his raven black hair, and he's holding the hand of a little old lady who is pushing a cart along a road. They are pushing it up a hill. You can't really see much because of the radius, but they are having a conversation, and she is being kind and sweet to this little boy. You hear conversation as well coming from the cart, maybe the other sat on top. She's pushing it up the hill with surprising strength for such an old, frail woman. She reaches the very, very top and you see 4 standing stones. On the standing stones as they pass, you see that there are images. They're fuzzy, but you can just make them out. These 4 standing stones show a decorative piece of armor carved in, a caped figure with cherry blossom falling all around them, a pair of boots with an elven theme, curled at the toe, with a bell on the very end, and a ring which appears to be holding a little fairy on top. The little boy holds hand with the crone, who wanders down the hill towards a windmill, whose vanes turn and creak as they approach. The vision moves round to see the face of the woman who takes this boy, and she watches as the orb, the camera, moves round. You're not, darling. It is just us. And she snatches the orb, and your vision blocks out.
I think I can say, for flavour and for ease, that the cards in front of me were moving, so people who were looking can also have seen the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think we know where the kids are.
Faerun?
Let's go.
And Faerun.
All right. Shall we?
Yeah, pastries and kids.
I think I can follow them if we can get started.
We'll need some provisions, some better, any armor really, and we'll need to be sure to. And he just like Alfie starts going into like we're hitting the road mode, you know, of like, all right, here, let's get the checklist out. He pulls a scroll that's like, to hit the road, we need to have all of these things taken care of. So moves into action mode.
Something about making mental protections, because they fed us all last time, and that should not be possible.
Wait, they fed us last time?
Maiden, Mother, and Crone once fed us pastries of flesh and bone.
Oh no, the flesh and bone was the children, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this place. How did was I alive at that point?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't want to be that kind of zombie.
I don't think anyone wants to be that kind of zombie, let's be honest. What's the plan, guys?
I used to be a vegetarian.
What's the plan, guys?
I say we go for the kids. Maybe the pastries would be better this time.
Pastries, you hear Alfie from like outside the room. He's like already gone and is like, pastries first. We don't want any of theirs.
Amazing.
I'm going to go out and start using sort of a spell called Wild Cunning, which is calling out to the spirits of nature to help me do things. So I'm going to start trying to kind of collect, whatever people might have been trackers or wild animals, just to kind of start finding these tracks to get us in the right direction.
Amazing, yes. Very easy to do. Creatures from the forest flock to you. Some of the cats come to you as well. They're all very certain that the road is east. You know where the windmill is. You make your way to where they guide you. You do pass someone on the stocks. In the stocks at the center of town, Henrik has been placed there.
I was gonna say Alfie would be like have talked to the head of the church and been like, all right, and make sure that blah blah blah. There's some caskets. You might want to destroy those. Best practice, etc., etc. Like, yeah, has done the full.
Yeah, 100%. He's been placed there. He's very unhappy. You pass him, making your way again on the old Svalich road towards the windmill. We are going to cut to this little woman wrapped in this mouldy-looking shawl. Her eyes are dancing with glee. She shuffles round the base of the windmill, this rickety cart she places. Whatever happened between Jaunty's memory and now, the two boys are in sacks that she hoists off this cart, one over each shoulder. This rickety woman standing now very, very tall. She makes her way in. Yes, my dears, you will bring dreams to many. Do not worry yourself. Granny will look after you now. And that's where we're going to stop our game for today.
Oh, poor kids.
I'm also going to say, because we had some beautiful RP, would your level 3 characters like to progress to level 5?
Yeah!
But we'll do that later. We'll do the admin later, as always. Thank you to everyone for joining us and being part of this memory-invoking game that was tonight's show. If you enjoyed tonight, we play D&D every month from 6 p.m. UK time. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. You know what to search for, Roll Together RPG. Massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There is a link in chat now. Do join them. Every penny helps us make all of the content that we do. Huge thanks again to our sponsors and supporters, and don't forget, we are all over social media as Roll Together RPG. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon.